And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicinda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy in the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a ton of different ways, but the most fun is sitting down with those designers and playing their games. Today, we are going to be entering into the Crawling Death under the Dying Forest, which is a mega dungeon that is compatible with Mork Borg. Running it for us, we've got Brian Colin. Brian, tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but tell us a little bit about Crawling Death.
Sure. Hey, everybody, I'm Brian Colin, and this is an adventure that I created with the help of my two kids to have an expanding, ever-shifting dungeon using Mork Borg. The idea was to take something that I already had, which was a 55 room dungeon, which is in the shape of little miniature maps or a card deck, and how to build that so there could be lots of different adventures that can be told within that framework. So it's going to be a 48-page hardcover book coming to Gamefound on March 22nd. Aside from that, I have my own company called Creature Curation, where I make all sorts of weird, nerdy things relating to RPG stuff that I've been doing for a while, from sculptures to world building to cute little RPG related things. And I'm also the vice president of tabletop role playing at Infinite Black, where we made Vast Grim, which is a third-party hack of Mork Borg, a sci-fi version. So yeah, and you can find me at Linktree/Brian Colin. Awesome. Get all the weird places to find me there.
Awesome. And not my first time playing with them, but the first time having them on a game here on our channel. We've got Dave. Dave, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Sure. Nerdarchy Dave from Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. And mainly we're over on YouTube, but we also have a website, and it's pretty much just Nerdarchy, all the places where we're talking about D&D and other RPGs. Awesome. And we make stuff sometimes too.
And we've got Molly joining us for the first time. Also, Molly, why don't you tell people the best place to connect with you if you want to be connected with you? You also could be like, don't find me.
I mean, sometimes people can hang out. It's cool. I'm Malikisa, and I do horror first playthroughs. I do blind playthroughs on Twitch, which is a lot of dying because I like to make bad decisions amusing. If you're not sure about that, you can check out my shorts on youtube.com/Malikisa.
Awesome. And I think not the first time on our channel, but I think the first time playing a game. Also, we've got somebody who, I don't know, this may be their first time playing Mork Borg also too. We've got Johan Noir. Johan, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
I've actually played this game once before.
Played this game one time before? That's good to know.
I have, yeah. No, my name is Johan Noor, and I am a graphic designer and artist, and I made this little stupid game, Mork Borg, together with Pelle Nilsson and a bunch of other good people, of course. And I am part of something called Stockholm Cartel, and yeah, very excited to be playing this game.
Oh, we're excited to have you with us. I'm glad we were finally able to get you on. It was, I remember a couple of weeks ago, you were like, I never get to play games, and I was like, come hop in the server, and whenever you can, we'll have you on. And I'm super excited to have you playing with us for the first time, and hopefully more in the future. So thanks for being here with us. We use a couple of safety tools here on the channel. They are lines, veils, and the X card anytime we play. Mork Borg is grim, dark, and oftentimes very violent and deadly. And by oftentimes, I mean all the time. And so just be aware of that. But we all have a strong line against sexual violence on the channel. Lines are things that may happen in the world of our game, but don't happen in the course of our play of it. Veils are things that we kind of address in a certain way, move quickly past, treat with a light touch, and things like that. X card is the ability for anybody to say, type, or message X to our group over on Discord. Pause the game, identify what the issue is, no explanation needed. We'll just move forward in a different direction. And we also have an open door policy, which means you might see us eat, drink, need to get up. That's because we're all real people with real lives outside of this stream. And if something comes up and somebody needs to take care of that, they should take care of it. You should take care of yourself also if you're out there watching right now. With that said, does anybody have any additional lines or veils that they want to add?
Not I.
Nope, don't think so.
Cool. If something comes up, just remember those are living conversations, and we can come back to them if something you're like, oh wait, no, that's a thing. That's what the X card is for. But otherwise, I'm going to hand things over to Brian to take us into the Crawling Death below the Dying Forest.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, one of the things that we're going to do a lot in this game, because it's an ever-shifting dungeon and it all can be modular and randomized. As the players, you're going to make a lot of the roles in how this dungeon and how this story unfolds. So to get things going, the way I'll do this is, for when it's random rolls, I'm just going to cycle through where you appear in my window, which may not be for the same at the viewers at home. So Mally, since you're in my upper left, will you roll a D4 for me? And while you're at it, Tony, will you roll a D6? No, sorry, D10. My apologies, David, or Tony.
I got a 2.
I got a 4.
2. Excellent. Okay, well, as we're doing this, what you know is that there is the dying forest where your kin have been engulfed, they've been swallowed alive. And as early as you could speak, you often referred to this as the forest of the dead. And even then, only in hushed tones. If you step foot inside, will any of your friends ever hear from you again? Or are those just fearful tales for the meek? The creaky, rotting trees, devoid of color, that make up the dying forest that lie between the Bergen Crypt and the Valley of the Unfortunate Undead. On the outskirts of those regions are tunnel systems that enter from either side that allow people to travel underneath so they don't have to actually go through the dying forest. You've heard rumors that an Abyssian cult made sacrifices to their god who lives below the forest. For some reason or another, you don't want to see Abyssal rise to power, and you want to stop this cult at all costs. Now, while you were close by in town, you did hear a rumor that if you eat the Sacred Heart of Undying raw, which is supposed to be somewhere within the trenches here, you will become invincible.
Sounds good.
Now, before we get in, your group or troupe of characters has been together for at least 3 weeks or so, having been hired to bring back some ancient relic, and you got paid. And now, after hearing about this cult, you've decided to go forth and try and find them and put an end to this. That being said, Mally, can you tell us a little bit about what the other characters would know about who you're playing and things that they might have picked up over the past 3 weeks in your character's name?
I am Brack, and I am really weird when I'm in town. I seem relatively relaxed, like far away from other people, but the closer we get to town, I get really, really on edge, and there's something off about me interacting with other people. And my arms are absolutely covered in scars, and I am hyper fixated on the blade on my axe. And then I am super, super excited about leaving town and going and doing something else.
Not a people person.
And then Tony?
So I am playing as Margar. Margar is has kind of a ratty appearance to their face, and they also kind of smell generally of rat urine. They are oftentimes like places that they shouldn't be, and their fingers look kind of odd and mangled. They seem kind of bitter about life overall, and their nose is kind of swollen, and they're oftentimes deeply intoxicated. But yeah, that's what you know about me. Oh, no, I also do, and I know it's somebody else does. We got a monkey posse going. I have 3 monkeys that accompany me.
3 monkeys?
They ignore me. They love me.
Shit.
Yeah.
We're talking big monkeys or small monkeys?
There's
shoulder.
There's two little ones that wear costumes and one big one. I didn't get them the costumes; they just have the costumes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Of course.
And Dave?
What are costumes?
I am playing Kvitin, and Kvitin is this pale, gangly, gaunt, half-starved individual that is always coughing and sneezing and snot running down his nose and very phlegmy. I'm not going to be reproducing that here today because no, thank you. And he has a sword and a ratty scabbard that he always carries with him, and perhaps you hear muttering coming from Kvetin every once in a while, and it's kind of disparaging towards him. Never quite make it out what it's saying. And also he has a jester that follows him around. It's very irritating, and no matter how much he yells at him, he will not leave him alone or go away. And he does have a monkey that rides each shoulder. Frank and Molly, they did not wear outfits until they started hanging out with the other monkeys. Now all of a sudden they have outfits as well, and I don't know where they came from. They also seem to like me, but not listen to me and mostly ignore me as well.
Wonderful.
Infers that the monkey sometimes will, do the monkey thing and clean.
Excellent.
Nice.
And Johan?
I am playing Frustan. And he's basically this extremely arrogant academic asshole who believes himself to be much more intelligent than everyone else. And he comes from a cult up in the Kergus Wastes, the icy Kergus Wastes, that believes that no one should ever be born into this dying world, that it's a cruelty to everyone. So he kind of thinks that everything, like you shouldn't create anything new, not just people, but generally things, isn't advised in this world. And he kind of he's also a gaunt person, kind of looks a bit like the, what's that food critic in Ratatouille?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. That's the second time he's come up in the last 24 hours. And I can't
Oh,
remember.
really? Yeah. It's a very good caricature of a person.
Yeah.
So
I've got to know, Johan, you asked, was all third-party content on class. I just want to know what class you are and where it came from.
this is but I didn't end up using it. I was just including it in my list of random. But I ended up getting a Forlorn Philosopher.
Awesome.
Which is
Cool.
from the Mork Borg Cult Territory,
Yeah.
I think. And also I have an animal. It's not a monkey this time. There's a lot of monkeys going around in Mork Borg anyway. But this is a dog that keeps following me. So, and his name is Carrion. So it's very skeletal. It's like a dog skeleton draped in skin, basically.
Okay, very good. So now that you've been together for a few weeks, and whether you're going into fight this Abyssian cult to take them down because you don't want to see Abyssal come to power and destroy everything, or perhaps there's an alternate reason that you harbor deep within yourself about the Abyssian cult, you've found yourself at the entrance to these tunnels. The trees above the ground are dying and creaky and void of color. The entrance itself is just kind of overgrown with roots draping down from these dying trees. It's barely wide enough for you to get through, especially side by side. So you'll have to go in one by one. Entering in, it's kind of, it veers and moves around. It's dark within there. I assume that you would have some sort of tool to light your way. What sort of order would you go in as a group as you're working your way through a tunnel system?
Clearly, I'll guard the rear.
I just want to get out of town, man. I'm going to be as close to the front as possible, but I don't really want to be in the front.
Well, you go ahead. You can go in the front. I'll stick in the middle. We need the brains in the middle, surrounded by meats and skeletons. As is the body. We are like a body.
Fine, let's just go.
Okay, so we have Brack in the front. We have Kvetin in the rear. I think it was Margar next, right? Because Kvetin said that they were going to be at the very back, right?
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Frustan, is that correct?
I'm in the middle. Or like,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, next to last. Okay.
Next to last, exactly.
I make Patroon follow me.
The tunnel itself is moist, damp. The ground beneath your feet is soft and spongy as you walk across it. The roots line both the walls, the ceilings, everything kind of has these big knotty roots. It makes it, you want to watch your step as you're walking through. everybody make a presence test. You'll just roll your d20, add your presence modifier, and let me know what you get.
17.
Woo! Woo!
I don't have. That'd be a
4.
5.
Okay. 4. Okay. Tony?
4. I can.
I'm an 8 all day long, but I also am stealthy, so my presence DRs are reduced by 2.
Okay. So, Frustan, because you are so scholarly and you're observant of all the things around you, you notice that
Yes.
the walls almost expand and contract as you start to walk through them. Just a slight bit, enough to make you feel that perhaps you're hallucinating a little, or maybe the below the ground that you're in may have some sort of life to it.
I mean, I would never doubt my senses or my intellect. So obviously there's something wrong here, and I'll just I mean, I'll keep quiet about it for now because
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm in immediate danger here.
Excellent. Very good. As you start to work your way around the corner, Brack, you see that the tunnels branch out to the west and then to the north. Which direction are you all going to go? And while you decide that, Tony, will you do me a favor and roll a d6 and a d10 as though they are percentile dice, with the d6 coming first?
A D6 and a D10 as though they were percentile dice.
Yes, because this game has 55 rooms. The number that you are going to roll is going to determine what room comes next.
Cool. And which one did you want in the tens place?
That would be a 0.
No, sorry.
Like-
which do you want the 6 in the tens place?
Yes.
I rolled
Yeah,
a 2.
totally.
I rolled a 2 and a 7.
Okay, thank you.
And then I forgot, because I have a portable laboratory. Can I roll my decoctions real quick?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then what directions are our options?
West and north.
Let's just go west. That seems like the fastest way to go. Just go west.
Okay.
Fine.
You're in the lead.
I go west.
Excellent.
I just
If this decision is wrong, we know who to blame.
I don't care. I just want to get out of this
But fine.
tunnel and get on the path. Does anybody have a better idea? No, then let's go west.
Fantastic. Let me, oops, hang on just one second while I share this with the folks at home. I will get faster at this moving forward, I'm sure.
No rush.
I see a tiny little thing on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Making sure. I'll pop it up so people can see. So these are the Brian. These are basically the cards that would be in the deck normally, right? So
That is correct.
The roll that I just made was that to determine which card comes out next.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But we shouldn't see these, right? Because I'm not. Seeing
No,
them.
just because it's so much easier to do just well, for this because I'm terrible at the actual roll 20 stuff. It's so much easier to just do theater of the mind, especially when I get these wrong. 700.
If y'all are watching the stream, you'll be able to see it, but I don't think it's going to ruin anything because it's going to be room by room. So we'll be finding it as we go, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So as you're working your way westbound, and the corridor continues on until it opens into a much wider expanse. It's easily like 60 feet, but the walls are they're not straight walls. It's cavernous with the roots coming down. It's drier. It's more stagnant. There's some strange odor of roasted nuts lingering in the air.
Damn it!
Smells like lunch.
What's that smell?
I smell almonds.
I smell lunch.
Brack, as you step a little bit further, make an agility test and let me know what you get.
13.
As you start to walk a little further, you feel yourself sinking in just a little bit, and the ground below you is pulling you down as though you've stepped into some sort of quicksand, or the roots themselves are moving out of the way just to allow your foot to get down and start to feel it getting trapped around your ankle. Behind you, Margar, because you're right back there, you see Brack kind of stumble down just a little bit as the footing gives underway.
Whoops.
I'm gonna try to scramble backwards and get my foot out of the hole.
Okay. You're going to have to be able to pull your foot out. You're going to have to do a strength test to break free. It's going to be a DR 14. For those of you watching at home, shoes. For those watching at home, you'll roll a D20, add your strength modifier, and if you get 14 or above, then that will pass.
I got an 18.
Nice. You yank your foot out as you're pulling through. One more test, and then we will move on from this. Make a toughness test and let me know what you get.
That's a nat 20 plus 2.
You're good. Okay. You feel the thorns of the roots down there, like scraping away a little bit at your clothing, but not piercing your skin at all. As you yank your foot out, the flooring around you, there's still lots of room. It's hard to tell because all of it is root lined. Where may be a safe space to step onto, and where might not. There is a corridor to the north. There's a corridor to the southwest. The one to the southwest has a wider opening, with the one to the north is about 10 feet wide.
Thanks for the help. Appreciated. Maybe someone else should go first next time.
You're doing such a great job. I will remove my sword in sheath and use the sheath while the sword is still sheathed to push the ground in front of me.
Okay.
Which way looks easier to walk?
There's more room to the southwest than there is to the north, but either way, it's almost like a triangle's amount of space going up in the room. So the base where you are in the south is wider.
Okay.
So as you push down, you start to feel a couple of safe spaces along the flooring where you feel like if you were to put your full weight onto it, you could stand securely.
Are we supposed to find a path through this? Is that what's going on here?
Can we just walk?
You can just walk. Go for it. You're the smart one.
No, I prefer if you walk in front of me. Like we agreed.
Oh my gosh, this can't be that hard. And I just start making my way to the north.
Okay. Do you pay attention to where Kvetin had pushed down and was pushing on the ground to see where it was safe and where it was not? Or are you just trudging through?
Until I pass Kvetin, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And if I feel him coming up beside me, I will kind of like slow down a little so that he will pass.
Okay. So Kvetin, were you, as you were pushing on, like if you felt one was safe, were you then moving on to that space?
Yes.
Okay. So as you do that, and as Margar gets to a safe space, you feel that the two spots that you're on, you feel the weight kind of sink down just a little bit. But as it does, you see some of the roots to the right of you start to move. It's actually closest right now to Frustan. As the roots open, revealing a small hidden alcove within there.
Okay, so I found this secret path. Not that you care, but perhaps we could investigate further.
Is it an actual path?
I don't know.
I kind of think in. What's in the alcove? Go ahead. I'm just kind of looking around.
If I look at it, like, how does it look? Like, is it a path?
It looks like probably about. It's hard if you poke your head in just a little bit. It looks like it's about 40 feet wide by about 20 feet deep.
Stick your head in. Stick your head in.
From right here, it almost looks like a closet or like just a little hidden alcove.
Oh, right. No, okay. I will not put my head anywhere, but I will just tell everyone else that I found the hidden compartment here, or like a hidden door.
Send in some monkeys.
Yes, do that. Send in some monkeys.
I would love to, but they never listen to me.
Monkey, go in the closet.
What do your monkeys do? Do the monkeys
ignore
listen?
me? They ignore me.
Wait, what if I tell your monkeys what to do and you tell my monkeys what to do?
Oh no, you found a loophole.
Yeah. Big monkey, go in there.
Tony, if you want to have your monkey respond to To Kvethin, that's totally up to you, or any way around. I'll let you guys decide how you want it to play.
Yeah, I think not the ones on my shoulder, but Big Monkey does go in.
Oh, really cool.
Okay. Big Monkey wanders in, and you can tell that Big Monkey has natural instincts, avoiding certain spaces on the ground that where their foot might like sink into the roots, and they go into the chamber.
Yeah, that's how Big Monkey made it to being big. Those natural instincts.
What costume is Big Monkey wearing, by the way?
Yes.
Big Monkey doesn't wear a costume. Only little monkeys wear costumes.
Oh, right, of course.
It's hard finding anything in this size.
Big Monkey would find some stored old nuts on the ground, and then also some rolled up piece of parchment.
Oh, I think Big Monkey just tears into those nuts, and just starts chowing down. We can't stop Big Monkey from doing what monkeys do.
But
the parchment's interesting. Like, does Big Monkey show the parchments? Like, do we see what he found?
I'm actually going to follow Big Monkey and step in the same place as Big Monkey was stepping.
He's our de facto leader now.
Terrible.
As you follow Big Monkey, you see Big Monkey chowing down on pieces of nuts, and there's just what looks like one sheet of paper with a torn edge rolled up and tied around with a string.
Oh, I absolutely grab that and open it.
And it says, "Do not eat these nuts under any circumstances."
Especially if you're a monkey. And I sort of hover, like lean over your shoulder to like sort of take a peek of the parchment.
As you unravel the parchment, roll a d6.
Is it worth money? A 1.
As you open it up and you start, can your character read?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know that Frustan over the shoulder would definitely be reading this. You read this as it is a magical scroll of a root sculptor that would allow you to bend and move roots, earth, and rocks for a certain amount of time.
Peculiar. This is a magical power embedded in these texts.
I immediately put it in my backpack.
And I look almost offended. Like, are you qualified?
I am absolutely qualified to use this.
Big Monkey takes notice of the parchment going into your backpack and like starts crawling up and like yanking on your backpack.
Is there anything else in the room?
No, that is it. It was just an alcove to house nuts and this strange scroll.
I carefully attempt to work my way back away from the very curious intellectual and the overly curious monkey.
Big Monkey's hanging on the bottom of your backpack, like
oh no,
shaking around.
Was that Big Monkey?
I reach into my backpack and I give Big Monkey a quarter of a ration of food.
Oh.
As you work your way back out, the rest of the group and the monkeys are out in the main area of this room, and you were heading to the north. Are you going to do anything else in this area, or continue on through the tunnel leading northward?
We got a root sculpting scroll. It could be useful, or we could sell it for money. Money's useful.
You cannot sell these things for money.
What's wrong with
for
you?
Those mundane things? What? These are
all sorts
these
of
are hot. But coins are mere material wealth. That this what you've just found is something higher, more sacred. You cannot exchange it for silver coins.
Well, we can't exchange it yet anyway, so I'm just letting everyone know.
And there's 4 of us in one scroll and 5 monkeys and a dog. But perhaps we just hold on to it for now and see if we need it. Perhaps a rapid egress
Hold on to it.
Be careful with it, though. You never know what powers it can unleash. If you can even control it.
And then we'll sell it.
I'm gonna once Big Monkey's back out, I'm gonna start making my way northward again.
Okay. Dave, would you mind rolling a d6 for me?
That's a 5.
Okay. So as you, as you start working your way into this room, it starts to open up into a much wider space than what you were in before. There's a cool, dry, with a slight hint of iron in the air. Moving into the bigger section, the wider opening of the space, you see something off in the north kind of refracting the light that you have shining. But instead, in the center, you see two large creatures with extended heads, long fangs, almost like they have no skin at all on their bodies, dipping bone weapons into some giant vat and pulling it up in a dark, oozing matter dripping down.
Have they noticed us?
They have not yet, no.
Cool.
What do you make of these? Maybe we can discuss something with them. Maybe we can ask them. What is that? What is that goo that they're handling?
I don't think these are discussion kind of things.
I think the goo is the last people that came through here.
Well,
Probably.
While they are having this conversation, I'm moving off to the side and around.
Hang on, where's Margar? So like how big are these? Are they like human shaped or are we talking
they
like
are not they are lanky. They're humanoid in shape in a way. They stand about 7 feet when they're up against the pit, but they're kind of leaned over a little bit. The weapons they wield look like they're fashioned similar to weapons humans would fashion, but they look like, if it'll focus on, no, it will not. Okay, there we go. They look like this, but they wear no clothing.
Okay. We can totally talk with them.
we're not talking.
Perhaps we can lead them back to the room with the sinking floor.
As you're discussing this, you see their heads kind of turn, and you hear their teeth start to scrape against each other in a bone-chilling sort of manner. Roll initiative. Away. What's that? Yes, exactly. Yes, the chatter. Let's see, Johan, do you want to roll for the group?
Sure. Got an 18. No, hang on. What's this? In my defense,
Johan,
using one of these.
in Mork Borg, you roll a D6 for initiative.
This isn't D&D. 3.
All right, you all get to go first. If you would roll individual initiative, D6 plus your agility modifier.
That's a 2.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
That is a 4.
That's a 6.
3.
4, 3, 2, 6. All right. What's Frustan doing since you got the 6?
So what are they doing? Like, are they seeing us and they look kind of aggressive? Or...
As they turn their heads and see you see like the weapons, the long like bone looking swords that they were dipping into this vat. They just kind of turn, and you can tell, especially an astute scholar like yourself, you can tell that their body language quickly shifts, and they kind of bow up and get bigger as though they're trying to show how much more powerful they are than you.
Simple creatures will do that, anyone who isn't a scholar. Basically, what I will do is I will reach into my backpack and grab a tablet that I have, like a clay tablet that I've been carrying around. And I will try to read the strange runes on this thing, and use the powers in this thing to make one of them question its entire existence. Like what I have here is an ochre tablet called Dream Theory. So if I succeed, the creature will begin to doubt that it is even real. So fantastic. I will have to try to roll a presence then.
Okay.
And I succeed. So it starts to like question its own reality and existence, making it easier to attack and defend against it by a 2. So lowering DR with 2.
Wonderful. So everyone else, you hear Frustan reading this aloud, and you see one just kind of, even though the 4 eyes that are on the side of this creature's head just kind of blink a number of times, it lets the weapon go that's in its hand just dropping to the floor with a clunk, and it's just kind of staring off at the ceiling of this room.
And I'm sort of like, it's both like these, spell casting mumbo jumbo things I'm saying, but it's also like, are you even real? Have you any proof of your existence? Like, is this just merely a dream?
Wonderful.
Johan just cast Intro to Freshman Philosophy on this thing. The best thing ever.
Yeah. Are you in a game?
Where am I? Brack, what are you doing?
Okay, so Margar and I'm sorry, what was your name?
Who?
Kvetin or Frustan?
Vetten?
Kvetin and Frustan. Yeah, Kvetin.
Vetten, okay. Are you guys like large jump in the melee types? Either of you?
I am not. I am very gaunt, pale, and sickly looking.
Because
I
you
do
were
have a
big on
sword.
the whole I got rear guard.
Oh yes, I absolutely did the whole I have the rear guard thing. But he looks kind of sickly.
Okay.
But he has a sword.
Margar, what about you?
It's kind of even hard to see Margar at this point in time.
Just
As
got-
they've moved around the room in the dark.
Okay.
As you think back to what Margar looked like, you're like, nah.
Okay. All right. Can I hand something to Vetten and then also attack in my same turn?
Sure, yeah. I mean, as long as you're not like rooting around in your shit to try and hand it to them. So
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna give Vetten some snuff and say, here, snort this, trust me. Trust me.
Last time I listened to advice like that, I ended up in a bathtub full of ice.
Trust me. And then I go after the one that doesn't have the weapon that seems like the safest one to attack for me.
Okay.
It is.
You're going to roll your if you're attacking with a weapon, roll your strength, and the DR instead of it being 12 will be a 10 because of the tablet that was read.
All right, so that is a 19, which is a bummer. I should have gone after the other one.
Well, go ahead and roll your damage.
All right, that is a 6.
That was
Nice.
a pointless use of a tablet then, because you managed anyway. Such is life.
Yes. You slash. What type of weapon you were using? Your axe?
Hand axe, yeah.
Okay. You chop into it, and somehow it was so distracted, but it still managed to let out a whimper as you chopped into it, and you can see so much of its tendons and musculature just tearing apart because you cut into it so good. That then brings us to what is Margar going to do?
Margar, watch now that somebody else has gotten right near these things. Margar is taking out their sling. I'm going to let a stone fly at the one that's not being fought currently.
Okay. Roll your presence since it's an aimed weapon.
That is going to be a 9. 9.
9 will not hit unless you want to spend a favor to or
no.
omen.
Stealthy doesn't benefit presence test for combat rolls, right?
Give me a reason why it would, and then if it seems
because I'm attacking from the dark, like because I had snuck around the room and I'm attacking from while they're distracted from the dark.
Sure. So you would want to use the stealthy versus the presence roll.
Well, it basically reduces the DR on presence and agility tests.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you use it. I'll let you do it.
Cool. I mean, that just reduces by 2. I think I actually still missed because it's only 11.
Yeah, you did.
But
it's closer, yeah.
But it's a little. It's
and
like 2
it's
inches
there,
closer,
so now
right?
you can't
Like,
get it.
Yeah, and as long as it makes sense narratively to me, I'm totally cool with it. You know. So then the last in this round. Oh, and after we do this, I completely forgot if the dog or the monkeys will do anything moving forward. If you want them to do anything on your turn, have it happen on your turn. But after we get through what happens with Kvetin, then we will we'll let the animals do what they're going to do. So Kvetin, what are you doing?
Cool. So I flipped the top off the snuff box while taking my scabbard, my sheath sword, and pressing it between my thighs so I can draw the bleed from it while snuffing. And as it whisks free this gleaming blade, magical runes burst a flame upon it, and he points it at the creatures, Frank, Molly, attack! Which they immediately turn to each other and begin grooming each other, completely ignoring me. And then from the sword you hear, "You're so pathetic. No wonder why they murdered your father."
Wonderful. And what does the snuff do, Brack?
The snuff just sent you into berserk mode. You now get 2 attacks per round, but you defend with a DR 14, and it lasts the entirety of the fight, and it causes you to sneeze.
Oh, and he was already full of mucusy slime.
So gross, yeah.
So now you have a projectile slime attack that you can.
Exactly.
Love it.
Full of berserk powder in it. Yeah. Perfect.
Since you just did the snuff and it's still on that round, if you want to get an attack in, since it sent you into a berserker rage and you get a second attack, you can actually take it. You would, whether you want to or not, you would take an attack this round because of the rage.
I will totally do that. I don't know if I have to do anything to make my jester do stuff, but its thing is to be annoying and gives.
I don't think you can stop him from doing that.
Okay. Yeah. So for the first 2 rounds, you and your allies get a +2 to attack and defense in combat.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
I will start that for everybody else on the next round since everybody's already gone in this turn. So they'll get it for two of their rounds.
Okay.
But you'll get it this turn. Yep.
All right. So I will run at the one that's already engaged in melee and scream at the top of my lungs. That's a 18. That's a dirty 20.
Fantastic. Roll the damage.
All right. Let's see. That's going to be 4 points of damage. But also I have to now roll a d6.
Okay.
Because I used the sword. That's a 2. It's not a 1, so it does not attack myself or one of my allies.
Wonderful.
Oh, it's the talking sword that hates you. Yeah.
Yes.
As you slice into this creature, you feel it crushing and its bones separating as it falls to the ground in a giant pile. You have destroyed that one.
Good team.
Turning to the animals before we get to this creature. What are the monkeys doing? Actually, we'll start. Johan, since you were first, what is your dog doing?
I'm gonna order Carrion, my dog, to attack, but I think I did it before this creature died, so it's just gonna, jump onto that and start to, find a bone to eat or something on it. So
there's plenty of flesh for especially as skinny and hungry that Carrion is to devour. What is happening with Margar's 2 small monkeys and big monkey?
They're skittering to the back of the room where all that refracting light is happening. They're very distracted by that.
Okay.
So nothing helpful.
Of course, yes.
Nothing helpful.
And then
Big monkey, we trusted
monkeys.
you to lead us. Sorry.
They're hanging on to me and grooming each other. They're never useful.
The one creature looks over at their fallen comrade, picks up their sword. Kvetin, you are the one closest to it right now, and you are the one that took down its ally. So roll your defense roll to see if you get hit. Remember, it is modified by what, the -4 because of the berserker?
-2 for the berserker, but he gets +2 from his jesters, so I guess it's a
So it's a wash.
Okay.
So that is a 7. That's 7.
No.
Or actually, there's an agility test, right? So that's a 6.
Okay.
Do you have an omen or something?
I
yeah.
do.
Yeah, you're gonna have to use that because you only have 1 hit point, right?
I do, but I think I'm going to save it for the damage to see what the damage is and my armor is.
Okay.
Right.
Roll a d12.
Oh, that's a lot of
Holy
damage.
shit.
Yeah, this giant sword is out to F you up.
All right. Okay, that's a 1, and I am wearing armor, so I can't roll less than a 1.
No, you
That's
totally,
good.
You totally managed, but do one more thing because somehow like the armor didn't take, but something seeped through touching your skin. Roll a toughness test.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, nice knowing you.
That's a natural 20.
Nice, excellent. we are back at the top of the order. What is happening with Frustan?
So I'm gonna like scream angrily at my dog for attacking the wrong target for a bit, and then I'm gonna, I'm gonna take out the club that I have and just sort of hang back. I don't want to go into any fight or anything. I just want to have it nearby in case something happens, because it seems like you guys have it all under control. So I'm gonna hang back.
Absolutely. Brack, what are you doing?
Oh shit. I'm like a little shocked at the moment. And I am pondering for a minute. I have nothing else useful that I can use in my alchemy ingredients, so I'm just gonna hit for hand axe again.
Yeah.
Damn it. I am not gonna hit him with a hand axe again.
Okay. And
you do have a +2.
Oh yeah, you do have a +2 from the jester,
which would be super awesome if I didn't roll a 5.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What is the jester doing to give us this bonus? Is he like singing or just distracting the monster with?
I think he mimes. That's his
okay.
thing. And there's nothing more annoying than a mime. Right now he's trying to get out of the box.
Oh no. What's happening with Margar?
I'm chasing after my monkeys towards the reflecting right in the back of them. I'm like, no, come back, go, come on.
As you chase after them, you see a bunch of human skulls piled on top of each other that look like they've been dipped in some sort of metallic material, and that's why the light was refracting off of them. They're blocking a corridor to the north. There's also a corridor to the east, like to the northeast. You could find your way if you wanted to like move the skulls to get to the north or go to the east, but you have made your way out. You're at least out of current harm's way from the creature that is attacking Kvetin.
Oh no, how inconvenient.
We're splitting the party, the first room.
Kvetin, what are you doing?
I'm berserking, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For the rest of the round.
And you get 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
I do get 2 attacks, but I rolled a 2 and a 4, so it does not matter.
Oh,
there we go. Now my dice are doing what I expect them to do.
Yep. It's like you're piloting a ship.
I like how our tank or whatever, he has 1 hit point and is in berserker mode, and everyone is just sort of trusting you to handle this. I don't know why, but
well, and the tank is really thin and frail, and
yeah, exactly.
And there was no way he would be tanking if he had not taken that stuff.
Which makes him actually worse at tanking.
Yes. Okay. This one is. Are your monkeys doing anything? Or just hanging in the background?
They never do anything useful.
Okay. The creature is deciding between the 2 of you who to attack, since both you and Brack are there. Brack is going to be odd. Kvetin is going to be even, and it is even. And I'm sorry, Dave, but roll to try and dodge this this sword that's coming down.
All right. So that is a 7. That's not going to do it.
Nope.
And
with all the modifiers in, what's that?
My modifiers don't help very much. They go the other way.
Gotcha. Okay, so then roll the D12 as it's trying to attack with this massive bone sword.
Just get a 1.
The omen.
Yeah. Do it again.
No,
Yeah.
Let's get a 1.
All right. So that's a 3.
All right.
And if I
armor you wearing?
What armor do you have? Yeah.
It's only 2. I can only block 2 points of that. So let's see. What can I do with that omen?
So
lower damage.
Yeah, by a D6.
Oh, I can lower damage by a D6. So
yep.
I will lower it by a D6 as well as the D2. Let's see what we can do. Come here.
You actually healed this round.
Yeah, that would be the case because I've got that would have been 5 points. Soak.
Excellent. Okay, very good. That brings us back to the top. What is happening with Frustan?
Okay, I feel like I maybe have to contribute somehow here. So I'm actually going to walk forward with my club and try to like bonk it in the head.
Okay.
As it is distracted by Kvetin.
Yes. Okay. Roll to hit.
But I do so very carefully because I'm not really a fighter. So I just sort of try to lean in and do that. But it's a 5, so I miss. I'm completely worthless at this.
You just want to try and make sure you're back enough that it doesn't notice you, right?
Like, I'm a philosopher. I can't fight. What am I supposed to do?
Brack, what are you up to?
I am really pondering getting that scroll out, but I also really, really, really need the money. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and go with a hand axe. I'm going to maneuver myself so I'm kind of behind the creature.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to take an aim at the spine.
Okay.
And also hope that he gets distracted and turns on me.
It's got big bony like protrusions. It's very easy to see where its spinal column would be.
Yeah, trying to go for the spinal column, but also hoping he's going to turn around because I'm suddenly filled with regret that I gave you the berserker stuff. I didn't realize you were quite as frail as you actually are.
I think an axe to the spine is its weakness, actually. So
I'm hoping, because that was a 17.
That hits. Roll the damage.
I feel better. 5.
You feel it go in and go directly in between some of the vertebrae. It lets out a shriek and turns its head, and you hear it starting to mutter, "You obey, hey!" And as it turns, it starts looking at you.
I'm okay with that.
Oh, I back the fuck away.
Margar, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna yank on these skulls and see if any of them are loose.
Okay, they seem like they're just placed up in a nice organized fashion, so you can easily move them and clear them out of the way if you want to go through the corridor to the north.
Are they these are just metal covered skulls, or are they metallic looking skulls, or are they skulls metal that's been fashioned into skull shape?
Roll a presence test and let me know what you get.
That is going to be a +1, 14.
You look at them and you can tell that they're various sizes and ages of humans. So they are human skulls. It looks as though they have been dipped in some sort of metallic finish and just kind of lightly coated on the outside. As you're kind of picking them up and kind of moving them around a little bit, you can see little bits of the metal flake off just a bit. It's not a metal that you've ever seen before, and it almost has a bluish hue to it.
Excellent. I stick 3 of them in my bag.
Okay. Very good. What's happening with Kvetin?
He's still in a berserk rage. And all right, so that is going to be a 16 and a 9. So 1 hit.
Yes.
7 points of damage as he just runs his sword into the gut of this creature.
Damn.
You run right into it, and it's however you want to describe destroying this beast, you can.
Yeah, he just runs it through, and it kind of slumps forward, and he screams in its face, "I'm not useless!" And from the sword you hear, "Yes, you are."
This was luck.
As it slumps down to the ground beside this giant vat of liquid that they were dipping their weapons in.
I'm very interested in that liquid, actually.
I am also very interested.
Yeah, I want to take a peek, just to have a look at it. Just what is it?
Going up to it, it's a crimson color hue, a crimson hue. It almost looks like it. And are you putting anything in it to test the viscosity or anything, or is it?
Yeah, sure, my club. Yeah, club. But just put a little, dip it.
It feels like a thick coagulating blood of some sort. And seeing that, and then also looking at their weapons that they had dipped in it, might have some sort of effect. Why else would somebody dip a weapon in blood or liquid like that?
I pick up one of the weapons and I test one of the weapons and cut myself with it.
All right. Roll a toughness test.
I do.
As you do when you find a
poisonous
blade.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. That's
you're rolling it. You're rolling d20s, right?
I am. I have +2 toughness. It's a 5.
You've done this before.
Yes.
It's what I do.
scientific method. Like that's
I
empirical.
gotta know what it does. It's the only way to know what it does.
I love how it's like, oh, thank goodness these things didn't cut us at all during this fight.
Let me do that myself.
but for science,
Controlled circumstances, all right.
You feel something strange start to course through your veins. You feel stronger, healthier. It's like, even though you were a little exhausted from the travel here, you feel like you're more energized and ready to take on whatever comes before you.
This is kind of awesome, actually.
They try to heal us.
I really like this. Also, I'm keeping that sword.
I'm just asking, like, do you feel stronger? You said.
Yeah, I feel
From
energized. This is fantastic. I was kind of tired before. It's like I had a really good cup of coffee.
But
Right after you say that, you hear a voice in the back of your head. Come to me.
Okay, that's a little less good.
What's less good?
Oh, this
I
is
don't
interesting.
know that everybody else should be doing this. I feel better, but I
Oh,
also
are you
might
trying
be
to keep it
crazy.
all to yourself now?
Well, I kind of might be crazy.
Do you have a spare flask in your laboratory there? Maybe we should keep some of these.
I'm
It's a healing elixir. We should keep it.
It's kind of not. I kind of have voices in my head now.
But still, you heal.
And the cut's still there, right?
Yes, the cut is still there.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
still
I'm
there.
sorry. No, as you cut yourself, after it soaks in, it starts to heal back up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Healing elixir. They are trying to keep it for themselves.
I have
Yeah.
voices in my head. It's up to you guys. You can cut yourselves if you want.
I have no blade, but I'm gonna dip my my club in there just to sort of coat it in it. Maybe
Yeah,
that'll work. I don't know.
It gets nice and covered,
Yeah, we'll see.
dripping
Is
as
the
you walk
liquid
a little
hot?
bit.
Is the pot
It is
hot?
not. No.
So Frank and Molly hop onto the rim of it, and they each like take a scoop and drink it.
Okay. You see them start to twitch a little bit. They start running around the rim in circles, going real fast. They're a little amped up.
Are you doing animal testing now? Just
I'm not. They did it on their own.
they did on their own. That's true.
Plausible denial. What did I tell you guys about just eating anything?
Do I hear anything else in my head or just the one thing?
Just that one thing. for
Am I
now.
getting a signal for a direction to come to the person that wants me to come to them in my head?
No.
No directionality, just the one voice, the one time.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to re-dip the sword again, and I'm hanging on to this sword. You said it does D12 damage?
Yes, but it's huge because they are much larger creatures than you. They were like at their full height, they were 7 feet tall. So you're going to have a -2 to attack with it. Because
I don't care. This is my sword. I'm keeping the sword.
There was also a dagger that the one that was killed right away had. And
I'm gonna snatch that before anyone else does and just dip that in the liquid just to keep it handy. If I get wounded, I can just stab myself with it.
And this dagger, because of their size, is really more like a short sword because of the size of like their grip. That's going to be a D6.
Where did Margar get to?
I solved the skull puzzle in the back of the room.
So
Skull
you
puzzle.
while we
What?
were
Yeah,
fighting
there was-
them
it
and
was-
did nothing is
This
what I heard.
passageway was totally blocked, but I found us a way out. I was able to get these skulls out of the way.
Did you ruin it? Did you destroy anything? Didn't-
I wouldn't say destroyed.
I mean, it is shiny. What is it? Or is it? So I
It's-
head over there and see what it is.
I toss one across the room to you.
I catch
Hey,
it.
dive out of the way in case
Yep.
so it doesn't murder me.
Yep. You catch a human head that looks like it's been dipped in some sort of metal.
Does it look valuable?
Metal's valuable, so probably.
I put it in my
heads are
backpack.
too to the right person. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes in my backpack.
How many heads are there?
There's easily, well, minus the ones that have been taken, there's probably about 43.
Holy shit. Okay.
Minus the ones that have been taken. A good
So
mental
it's-
math.
and they're all etched. 1 of 46, 2 of 46.
Yeah.
Exactly. Signed and numbered.
Like a collection here.
Yeah, but I was able to get these out of the way so that we can get through.
Are you gonna
Sidelong
swing-
glance as I come over to the skulls, and I just want to heft one to see like what the weight is.
It's not like it's much heavier than like a normal skull. I mean, as you've held normal human skulls before, there's not much
As
difference
you
in the weight of it. Yeah.
Like you do.
I'll take 2 of them and put them in my pack.
Okay.
I've
pretty
got
good that we have a-
more. I
that
take
we have
I
a
take
path
more as
now.
well.
Yeah.
And
Margaret,
so there's-
just so you know, moving heads aside is not solving a puzzle. That is much more difficult. and
Oh
much more
no,
complex.
you don't understand. There was a lot of things that went into to getting them in the position where I could move them.
And it had nothing to do with the 2 large things that were in the process of trying to kill us and you getting out of combat.
I mean, I never got in combat, so I don't know that getting out of combat would be an apt term.
Mm-hmm.
He does have a point.
Puzzle
That he's useless? I think his point was that he's useless.
puzzle solving is really where I excel.
Useless is what I
highly
heard.
doubt
I
it.
tried to attack them. They were
No, you didn't.
they were too tough.
Regardless, let us move.
Are you going to go through the path that was blocked by the skulls or the corridor that was to the northeast?
Apparently, all this work was done, so let's.
Yeah,
let's
I mean, I worked really
go.
hard
the
to open
puzzle
up this
was
pathway
solved.
to the north.
What can go wrong going through a skull tunnel? That's a great idea. And I think our fearless new leader who cleared the path should be the one that leads us through
Oh
the
yeah,
new
I mean,
path.
like as puzzle master general, I gotta lead the way.
Yes,
Not a puzzle.
absolutely.
Not a puzzle.
You are the front person now.
I believe, Johan, I believe it's your turn to roll for the room. Will you roll a d6 and a d10?
Yeah, sure. So I have a 60, a 6 and a 7, basically.
16. Okay, so that is. Hang on just one sec.
I just keep muttering like it's not a puzzle. It's absolutely not a puzzle. Puzzle's way more complex.
As you start walking through the skulls, especially Frustan, you start to think about the stories that you've heard of the cult of Abyssal
Yeah.
and what you just saw, and you realize that maybe the creatures that you fought were actually members of that cult.
Yeah. I share this with the group. And I say that this cult, we've heard so much about them in our own society that we have, and they are so deranged. They are not human anymore. So what
Are you saying
what
those
we're
things were- Are you saying those things were once human?
yes, I lie, or I don't know.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it for a good story. I'm just yes, they were.
Yeah, I concur. I concur. My studies have said the same thing.
Get a little power,
Studies.
if possible.
Walking past the skulls, you feel cooler air blowing down into this chamber. This chamber's much wider and not quite as deep as the one that you were just in. But the walls shimmer with small beaded droplets, glimmering with a large webbing along both the northern area and the southeast. And you can see that a corridor leads out of here to the northeast.
I don't
They're
like
big,
the look of
massive
that.
webs. Like they're easily filling up from probably like 50 feet wide by like 20 feet deep. Whatever made these is probably going to be fairly sizable.
Are we? Is there like a pathway through the middle of them that is
Yes.
uncovered?
Yes, you can probably work your way through and try and get through it with a little bit of nimbleness to not touch any of the webbing if you choose to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Are
I'm gonna
these-
go solve this webbing puzzle.
You solve the webbing puzzle. I'm gonna stay in the doorway and watch as he goes through the webs.
And I want
was
to just
going
sort of
to
touch one of the
suggest-
webs. I just wanted to go, ping, ping.
Yeah.
Just to get a feel.
So we'll have Margar starting to work your way through. As you're working your way through, and Frustan starts to ping ping. Roll for Frustan. Roll a presence test. No, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Roll an agility test to
Oh,
see
that's-
if it sticks to your fingers.
15, so I hope not. But
Yeah, no. You feel it start to like. It's almost like it's trying to pull at you, but you pull it away. And if you would have put your hand in a little more, it would have definitely.
I mean, I kind of
taken hold.
anticipated that, so I was like ready for it. So yeah.
And Margar, you work your way through. As you're walking through, are you just trying to be as careful as you can and just work your way across? Is there anything else that you want to do as you work your way to the northeastern part of the room where there is no webbing?
No, I'm jumping and skipping and moving across, trying to touch the webs as little as possible.
Okay. You navigate that just fine going through. Make a presence test and let me know what you get as you're walking through.
Cool. I rolled a 12 and my presence test are reduced by 2 as far as difficulty goes.
Okay. As you're walking through, you see what looks like, after seeing that torn piece of paper that was found in the other the other like alcove, you see one that looks like it's kind of tucked away behind some of the webbing.
Awesome.
And it looks very similar.
How far away?
Like the webbing would either have to be cut through, you'd have to try and find like a maze path to get behind some of the layers of webbing. It definitely looks like it's webbed over.
I'm going to do the incredibly smart thing of taking some of the lantern oil I have and kind of coating myself down with it a little bit. Because covering yourself in flammable oil is like always a smart idea.
Solving the puzzle of the spider webs. Yeah.
So you solve puzzles, and I'm gonna then try to make my way back over to that thing.
Okay.
Can we try to set the webs on fire just to see if they...
I thought about doing that just right as we walked in this space. And I was like, knowing Brian, whatever is in here is going to burn with us if I do that. And burn with it if I do that. So,
well, my plan is absolutely to test the webs to see if they're flammable.
Yeah.
Well, you see...
Yeah, just saw him just covering himself.
Yeah, you see him cover. Yeah, exactly.
It's less.
Let's see what's to say about my character. Ruthless and cowardly.
And more of a like rub down, like
Okay.
So it's not like that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you see Margar do this, and he's starting to like kind of try and slide between some of the webs. And is that a Kvetin? Are you going to start lighting things on fire while he's sneaking?
I will call out, Margar, get out of there. And then I begin putting torch to webbing.
And as Margar, as you're sliding in there, roll an agility test. I'll give you a bonus of 2 for being oiled up.
The webs are sticky. Mind.
Yes.
It also raises your charisma.
So that's going to be a 17, 19, and then difficulty reduced by 2. So yeah, I think I do fine.
You're sliding right in as you hear Kvetin saying that. Do you want to stay in there? Do you want to try and like grab for the thing and then slide out?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go faster. It's fine. We'll be fine.
Okay.
It's not a problem.
Cool. You get to where this piece of paper is. Grab it. What are you lighting things up with, Kvetin? You just like using some
torch,
a lantern torch. Okay. You see it start to catch fire. Margar, I think you need to make another agility test to get out before any of the flame gets close to you.
Sure. I don't know if I can still get the bonus, but that's either a 17 or a 19 either way.
Okay. You slide, like, you see the fire coming your way. You see an opening at the other end and just kind of slink out that way so you're not having to go back and risk catching fire.
I solved the web puzzle.
So did we.
It's not a puzzle.
As the fire starts catching on the webbing in the southern area, the smoke starts filling the room just a little bit, but the cool air that you felt as it came down, you can see it must have found an opening up above. So there must be the ground up there as the smoke is working its way out. And you hear oh
no.
As scurrying down from above, and as you're looking up and seeing the smoke going up, you see a giant spider-like creature with giant mandibles and lots of eyes starting to descend from the walls high up above.
You didn't solve a puzzle, you summoned a monster.
I think we probably would have been fine if people hadn't lit it on fire.
We'll never know now, I suppose. What is on the other side of this room?
So there's more
Me.
webbing to the north, and there's a corridor to the northeast.
Okay,
How
well,
wide
this
is that
sounds good.
corridor?
That corridor is 10 feet wide.
Is this spider, would it fit down that corridor?
It doesn't look like it. I mean, it looks like it's big, but you also know spider-like creatures and how they can often make their way through small areas.
Yeah, it's probably easier to fight in there though. So maybe that's a good idea to try to run.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
try and run for that corridor.
Yeah, let's run for it.
Same here.
Okay, you're running for that corridor.
I don't
Let's
mind
see.
pushing people away if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm willing to
Just
bet
so
I'm in
we're
better
clear.
shape than both of you.
Probably. Yeah.
Margar, are you running as well?
I'm taking out my sling and I've put the rest of the rest of the lantern oil that I have inside my sling, and I'm spinning it around real fast right now.
Excellent, nicely done. Let's see. So
Is the
Malchus,
web still
will
on
you-
fire, by the way, in here? Like,
The-
is it still like burning?
That
stuff?
like went up really fast. Like this
Okay.
webbing is just like it's kind of like when burning hair.
Like old
upholstery.
upholstery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it stinks in here now.
Yeah, it smells horrible. Malachissa, will you roll a d4 and let me know what you get?
Or I could throw it on the floor. That's the thing I can do.
How bad could it smell? I mean, doesn't one of us smell like rat piss?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, if you,
they go
I mean, like, there's no reason to make
Lantern oil.
personal attacks.
What'd you get, Mally?
Two.
2? Okay.
I'm waiting for that beard alchemy scent, to be honest with you.
This is burning. Yeah, the OSR line of beard scents is a very different vibe to it.
Burning web, rat piss, you know,
Burn
the
web,
standards.
Rattus, you know.
Yeah, old pit trap. You know, the whole range.
Okay.
The
As you
Galgambeckian sewers is the top seller.
Yeah. It's classic.
as you run through the corridor and you have Margar just like spinning the fire around really quickly, you enter into a room that's warmer and smells of rot and decay. You see lying like you start going through this corridor and it's almost as though there's another chamber north of you that kind of balloons out where you can see something lying in the center of it, a large mass lying there on the ground.
How large are we talking?
40 feet wide by 25 feet deep is that's the chamber. So
Okay.
probably about probably about 20 feet, like completely sprawled out, like a big pile sprawled out.
I'll just see what that is in real measurements.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know how to convert.
No, that's fine.
Frostin, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What do you mean?
Probably not.
If we can taunt this creature and get it to fight the spider for us.
Before you finish that, let me just be clear. I never think what you are thinking because my thinking is above yours. So never ask me that again.
Listen, I
Okay,
come from
do
a
continue.
long, distinguished bloodline, peasant. But yeah, but I think if
you
we
may
can
have
lure,
brawn, but you have no brains. Do continue, please. I want to.
yeah, if we can lure one monster to the other, perhaps they'll do the fighting for us.
No, I don't
That's
think-
actually
Maybe-
not stupid.
So
It is
as,
stupid.
As
But
they
maybe
say
if we
this-
lure them towards each other and we make them fight each other, we can, get away from them.
as they say this, I let the lit oil go and launch it towards the spider because I'm not in the room and I
Nice.
don't know they're having this really smart conversation about how we can handle this.
Roll to hit. And it is now down on the ground. It's massive, and it's starting to work its way towards you.
It was plus presence for this, right?
Yep.
So
mhm.
that's 14.
Okay. You send it off. Roll the damage.
It's lantern oil, so I mean, is it going to be? It's a sling. It's D4, right?
Yeah. Roll a d4.
Normal damage, so it's 2 damage plus it's a fire bomb. So whatever happens next happens next.
Okay. You see it hit like it like lands on part of its shell. It kind of goes in between part of its exoskeleton and catches. You can smell a little bit of burn as it hits and hear a sizzle. And you hear it, but it doesn't seem extremely phased. This large creature. I mean, this giant spider-like creature is probably like it's definitely a good head or two taller than you are.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to try to get the rest of the oil to be burning on it, not like the actual damage I wasn't worried about. Trying to set part of it on fire while we run away was really what I was focused on.
Yep.
So then I will run away.
Very good.
So who wants to go annoy the other creature?
I have this skull I can throw at it. Or if you have any more of that snuff, that would certainly get it angry.
What are we talking about?
Made me angry.
What are we doing?
No. Don't worry about it, Malgar. We got this covered.
And it smells of rotten decay up there.
How's the room? Like, what kind of landscape was this? What environment?
So have you actually gone and entered into the space where you see this kind of hulking mass?
I think so. Or
I'm at the doorway. Like, I'm not committing to
I'm still in the tunnel area.
We haven't entered the boss area yet.
Okay, so the walls in here, like most of the rest, is covered in roots that kind of dangle down and hang down, lining the walls, the floor. It looks just like kind of like a shadowy figure almost in the center, probably about 5 feet tall by the 20 feet wide. It smells bad, and like as you look, you don't actually see any movement. It looks like whatever is there is just kind of. It's just kind of docile or something.
But we're sure that it's a creature. We know that it's not like a pile of treasure or something. I don't know.
Looking in closer, it almost looks like the creature that's chasing you, but the smell kind of starts to give away that it can't possibly be living right now.
Oh man, what's that smell? It smells just like home.
I will throw one of the skulls at it.
Yeah, do it.
Chuck it. It rolls in, no movement.
Okay, it's
Is
safe.
the spider still chasing us?
Yes, it's coming soon.
I think
I will head into the room.
This chamber is more safe, so I'm gonna go into it as well.
I'm gonna stay behind as bait to make sure the spider is still going to come. So I'm gonna stay right at the doorway.
Okay. So
when the room opens up, we've got east and west. Both ways are clear.
So you were in a corridor, and to the north, it ballooned out almost into like a brain-shaped chamber. So you still have a corridor to the east that you have not gone down. You came from the west. The spidery creature is coming from the west, and kind of moving slowly after you. It doesn't seem to be in any hurry. So it's just kind of it's working its way towards you.
Okay.
As you work into the room, you tell that this is definitely the deteriorating body of another giant salcerate. These big spider-like creatures.
Quick, wake it up! The spider is after me. Do something terrible.
I take a bite out of some of the decomposing meat.
All right.
As you do.
Yeah, you love it. It tastes great. Roll a d4.
This group.
As you're looking over the carcass and taking a bite of it,
4.
You see that you could easily like grab part of its exoskeleton and use it as a shield.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of meat that you could get, maybe 1 or 2 meals, but it's fairly rancid. That's the only stuff that would actually do you good. The rest of it would probably hinder you quite a bit.
That's fine.
And you might have
shield plus dinner. Excellent.
Don't eat it. Don't eat that.
What? Oh,
Too late.
Oh, so good.
You're yelling at him to not eat it as I'm yelling at the monkeys to not eat it.
Not eat it.
No,
I was yelling at my dog.
It off. I was like, invertebrate bug eater is literally on my character sheet. I have no choice.
That's fantastic.
This is great then.
Yeah, cool. I got a chitin shield.
That's nice.
As you do that, you
the
see
spider is coming to us, right?
The spider starts coming in. It pokes its head in, kind of turns its head a little bit. You hear that as the mandibles cross each other, and then you see it start to climb up the wall, and it sounds like it's going back the way it came from.
Good.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, we scared it off. Well done, everyone.
I don't think that's what we did. I thought you was a smart one.
It's retreating.
Is there enough for another shield to get out of the carcass?
There's not. The rest of it is broken into pieces. Someone or something put a lot of hurt down on this thing.
Look, if you walked into a room and somebody was eating your best friend, you'd probably walk out also.
Nope. Not worth it.
What do you think killed this thing?
Do we see any signs of violence to it? Like any, if we're
It
doing
looks
some,
like-
like a forensics thing here?
Yeah, go ahead, roll a presence test and let me know what you get.
Yeah,
That's yours.
natural 20.
Fantastic. You can see like
CSI mode.
yeah, you're totally inspecting it. You see like there looks like some sort of physical weapons did some sort of like some sort of blades did some damage on it. It also looks like some more ragged natural tearing. Maybe it was some sort of claw or something like that, or maybe, and you see teeth marks. And after seeing the teeth marks in part of the exoskeleton, you tie that back into the creatures you saw just a couple of rooms before, because they had very elongated teeth, and so it all kind of pieces together that this thing was probably destroyed by those creatures or creatures like them.
Are there any treasure chests or caches or anything like that?
Nope. Did Margar, do you do anything with the thing that you found behind the webs?
I mean, I at some point I'll pop it out and read it.
Okay. Will you roll a d6 and let me know what you get?
Do we see him pop it out?
5.
Probably.
I mean, it depends on
The
how comfortable
warranty
you
on
are.
your car is about to expire.
It depends on how comfortable you are watching me eat the spider stuff. So if you're comfortable watching me do that because it's happening at the same time.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll walk over and read it over your shoulder then.
You just see him unfurl this piece of paper, and
Like,
after
can that read?
can you read?
No, I'm showing it to Lefty, who can read, and they're telling me what it says.
The monkey?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You see it like it does this kind of sign language to you, and lets you know that it somehow it will trap. It like freezes a creature in place.
Cool.
Oh, it's a scroll as well.
Yes.
Nice. And I'm just, you see my hand coming towards it, like, let me take care of that for a second.
And
I know
Lefty
just how to handle it.
slaps your hand when you reach out for it.
Ouch! You foul beast! What are you doing?
It's got a mind of his own. I can't tell you what to
Control
do. And
your
Lefty's like,
animal.
You can tell that the left edge of this page looks like it was torn out of some bound material.
This is from
I got a piece of a puzzle here. It looks like it used to be connected to another one. There's so many puzzles. There's so many puzzles in this dungeon.
I am surrounded by fools.
It's a real thinking person's
Yes.
evil cult lair.
Yeah.
One of the other storylines in this game is coming into play in the random rooms that you are adding to it.
Okay.
So, do you stay in this room for a long period of time? Do you work your way eastbound?
There's
We
no
stay here
treasure.
for a, I mean,
I don't
we
give
probably
a
stay here for a while, don't we? To like you investigate this scroll and we. Or
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's no
maybe we
treasure.
just
Let's
hang
go.
back for a while. Okay.
Catch our
There's nothing to
breath.
sell. Let's get out of here.
Breathe some fetid air.
So what exits are there?
The only one that you haven't gone through is if you go back down into the corridor you were in and continue traveling eastbound.
Okay.
I
That
guess
sounds good.
I guess I'll go to the corridor, peek my head back into the spider room, and see if the spider is there waiting for us.
Good call.
You go back and do that. You do not see it, but you know that this room has a very high ceiling and your light does not shine all the way up to the top of it.
I think the coast is clear.
Let's just be quiet.
But that was west. So and
Oh.
everyone else was starting to head east.
Oh, there's another. Okay, I thought that was a dead end room.
Yep. Tony, will you roll a d4?
A D4?
Yes. I'm slowly working my way down specific rooms that are
4.
in this storyline.
That's fine.
Okay.
4.
Okay. 4 it is. You work your way into a room that has earthy odors. There's old stone off in the far end of the room. As you walk in, you can see that the corridor branches to the north and the south, but further past where the corridors intersect, it fills into like a slightly curved room with a stone circle set in the ground about 20 foot in diameter. There's strange etchings laid inside of it, and that is what you see.
The best smelling room since the nut room.
Are y'all familiar with Old Stone deodorant? It smells just like this. It's strong enough for a Fang deserter, but made for Gutterborn scum.
I need that needs to be a thing.
I'm immediately going to start checking the stones around the walls and everywhere else and looking for alcoves, anything that sounds hollow.
I think both of us are kind of hurrying there and sort of like,
I'm going to start by just going to the T and looking right and left.
Okay. Roll. You would be next anyway. Roll a D6 and a D10.
D6. That's a 7 and a 4.
So 47. Okay. As you look north, it looks like a corridor that is going to open up into a large room. To the south, you can't tell because it goes south and then it curves east from there. Do you want to step into that room while they're inspecting this circle?
Just poke my head in enough to see if there's anything in there.
Okay.
Make sure we're not going to get blindsided.
It looks like the ground here is wet and moist, and there are muddy footprints along the ground. And there's something stuck in the mud that's trying to move, and they're kind of making moaning noises, kind of flailing in your general direction.
Am I able to make anything out about it?
Not unless you move further in.
Doesn't seem to take notice of me.
Not at the moment, no.
And you said the ground is moist?
Yeah, well, it's soft underfoot. So, like, if you, with your weight, not your weight because you're thin and gaunt, but some of the heavier members of your party may leave footprints and tracks in the ground.
Do we have any heavy members in our party?
Yeah, Big Monkey.
Big Monkey.
Big Monkey's gonna have a hard time.
I think of Big Monkey as like a gorilla that we have here.
I was thinking like baboon, but you know.
Yeah, I mean it's big. It's a big monkey.
It's Big Monkey.
Big Monkey defies categorization.
I will just keep my eye on that thing and I'm kind of like glancing at that, holding my torch up and glancing back at the rest of the group and kind of call out, we've got something over here stuck in the muck.
As you do that, Brack and Frustan get to the circle right about the same time. The circle itself looks like it's some sort of casting or summoning circle that's embedded into the ground. It looks very old. There are strange inlays into some of the in some of the stonework that is a cyan kind of blue material that you haven't seen before, that just kind of fits into some of the pattern work that's in the ground. And there is a strange, almost like W-ish shape that is marked in that ground.
Are the cyan inlays like gems or paint?
It's more like something was liquefied and poured into it versus like shiny, sparkly. Okay. Like if you think of like enamel pins and how that color is like inlaid into that, it's kind of like something was inlaid into the stonework.
So not worth chipping out.
Well, you don't know.
Yeah.
Can we make any sense of like the patterns or like do we understand anything? If we've seen,
with your academic knowledge, make a presence test, and we'll see what you think of.
I get an 18.
Okay. From what you can tell, that this is some sort of circle for using powers. Whether it amplifies certain powers, whether it will then do something else, like something specific, you read into it as it calls out to something or someone when using powers within the circle.
Okay. Well, I say that this is a way of summoning the attention of something or someone when using powers. So
another puzzle.
We should no. God damn it! It's not a puzzle.
I'm just gonna laugh at this. Like, this is getting funny.
We should try one of our powers that we have. We have scrolls, don't we?
Absolutely not. That's a total waste of a scroll that we can sell. What's wrong with you?
You can still sell it afterwards.
Yeah,
if you want to have,
you can reuse it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to have
scrolls are
material
not consumed in MB.
No, okay.
Typically.
Okay. I mean, we can still use it.
Give it a try. Anyway,
Okay,
I can do it.
my scroll summons roots or something.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, who's gonna do it?
I'm over next to the muckety muck, with Fedin.
Okay. As you all are over there, roll a d4 over there.
This is a terrible idea, and I'm absolutely going to do it.
You want both or just one of us?
Just one of you.
Dave, you got it?
Sure.
I'm like, you okay?
Go wrong. 4.
That's probably good. Or bad.
You hear, and you see like human-like bodies start pulling themselves out of the mud.
I know what it's like.
Behind you, and working their way towards you. They look like their flesh has started to rot off their being. Their eyes look soulless and lifeless.
Yeah. I know.
Is that us or the monsters? Who are you talking about?
Rough.
That is
rough morning.
Yeah.
So while you guys are seeing that, Frustan is going to be casting right within the circle.
No.
Brack's not giving him the scroll. She doesn't trust him. She's going to read it.
I will try to get it, but I doubt I will.
Ain't happening, buddy.
No. So
this thing controls plants, and I'm an herbalist. It's what I do.
Yeah.
And what I do.
Frustan will try to stand back there and just nag about it. Like, I should be the one doing this.
You can whine all you want.
Yeah, I mean it's not happening. He's just standing there.
No, this controls plants. Plants are my thing. Didn't you see what I did to him in the other fight? Plants. It's all about the plants.
It's all a coincidence, all luck.
From out of the mud, this undead being is working its way towards Margar and Kvetin. Are you all doing anything now that it's dragging itself?
Oh yeah, my jester begins mocking it, acting like it's stuck and really just being an ass and annoying as it always does. And I draw forth my ancestral blade.
Since you pull out your blade, go ahead and roll the initiative for you and Margar against the creature.
You suck. A 3.
All right, you guys get to go first.
All right.
Roll individual initiative. And as you hear that, you hear you've heard Kvetin's blade before. Tysies, who's got a higher agility?
I got plus
-1.
Okay. Margar is definitely going first. Brack and Frustan, you hear the blade come out, and you hear the mocking voice that you know all too well that is tried to keep sheathed as much as possible. But you hear that from north of where you are, just up ahead in the corridor above.
I think this is more interesting actually to do this.
It's too late. I've already started reading, and now I'm kind of committed. I want to know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, same here.
You also hear me going like, oh no, I totally get it. And like my monkeys are like screeching and look like they're trying to hold me back from a fight. Like they're like,
they got it.
Like, and then I just pull out my flail and try to hit this thing.
Plus, I'm feeling kind of salty because Margar fucked off on the one we were fighting. So I feel like this is like,
karma.
Fair play.
Yeah.
I rolled a natural 20.
Fantastic. Ba-boom. You want to go ahead and roll the damage?
Yeah.
It's going to reduce the armor tier by 1. It's going to inflict double damage.
So that's going to be 10 damage all day then.
You just crush this unholy undead thing, and it just falls into a pile of rotten decay at your feet.
I know exactly what that's like. I know exactly what it feels like. I'm sorry. Take a nap.
I'm feeling salty about that. I'm just saying.
You're very good in a fight, apparently.
No, you just got to know how to talk to him. You know, it's kind of like if you think about like everybody's desires is kind of like a puzzle that you're just trying to work your way through. And once you know what they want, it's easy to get them just kind of do what you need.
You're starting to win me over with the puzzles here, actually. That made a lot of sense. So what happens with the scroll puzzle that we're doing?
The scroll puzzle.
Are we winning there?
I read it. It has been read.
What happened? Like, did anything special happen?
Oh, did you actually cast it there? In this
yeah,
game?
I cast it right there.
Sorry.
While the whole thing was going on, I cast it.
Okay, so roll a presence test and let me know what you get.
That is an 18 plus, I think 0.
That does it, as long as you didn't fail. And then roll a d6.
Okay. 3.
So as you are casting it, you see like the roots above you start to move and shift. You feel as though you can control the direction the roots are going to go into, but along with that opening up, as they open, they move just a little bit, so it's more to the left of you because you are standing directly in the center of this circle. And there's a ground to the left that isn't the circle. And as it opens up, you see fall out of nowhere 3 creatures with the long elongated teeth, the long arms, just kind of drop out of this abyss onto the ground. And they land down kind of in like a classic like superhero thump down on the ground. And then they look up, their teeth kind of chattering a little bit, move their heads around. They almost, as their eyes, each of them with their multiple eyes kind of moving and trying to gauge the space that they're in. Roll initiative so you can determine what you and Frustan do. If you want to, Mally, if you want to roll it, and then we'll see what you all get to do.
I have an idea.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did they fall from like another level above us, or did they like spawn and manifest into being here?
They kind of spawned, like as that unfurled, like the roots moved away. It was almost like sheer blackness, and you couldn't see. It didn't look like it was like a level above. It was like they were out. Okay. They were kind of appearing out of nowhere.
Fuck. Okay, because Frustan isn't a fan of adding new creatures to this world, so these are abominations that have to be destroyed.
Yes.
I have a plan. Shut up.
What'd you roll?
I roll a 5.
Okay, they get to go first. They stand up. They arch their backs, and they look. Why have you summoned us? Why?
You need to go kill the spider in the room over there immediately.
And you have to die doing it.
There will be no death unless there is something to be fed.
You may eat the spider afterwards.
Yeah, eat the spider.
But then you must also leave and probably die.
Shut
up. We will not die.
Shut up. Just eat the spider.
We will not be sacrificed.
Go eat the spider. Go kill the spider and eat it.
No. What is this spider that you... What is spider?
This thing, but alive. And I point to the corpse that we've already screwed up.
That's far away.
Another room.
Oh, it's further away.
It's like one of these.
You don't know what a spider is?
This thing, but like really, really big that has webs.
8 legs, mandibles, a beast. Walk that way. If you find a monster, you attack it. And you murder it.
Have you seen Abyssal?
No, yeah.
Have you heard the chatter?
Damn it.
Yes.
Where is Abyssal?
2 rooms that way. I give them directions to the spider room.
That's not... I asked them instead, what do you know of Abyssal?
Abyssal is everything. Abyssal must be fed. Abyssal must be unleashed.
Feed the spider to Abyssal.
But what if Abyssal doesn't have to be released?
Shut up! Shut up!
It's just a rhetorical question. What if...
Shut up!
Abyssal has been trapped for so many generations. Abyssal must be freed.
Or remain trapped.
You shut up.
Why? Why do you?
You kill the thing over there, and that will release Abyssal, and its corpse will feed Abyssal.
Abyssal does not like corpse food. Live morsels are much better.
But you have to spill its blood to summon Abyssal.
Wait. But you are alive, correct? The three of you here.
Yes.
So you may be sacrifices for Abyssal. Is that not right?
Would be a great honor, but first, if we can bring others into the maw.
Such as the spider.
Yeah, you're
the spider creature.
On this one, dude.
And you look like you could feed Abyssal.
Don't think about it. We summoned you. Against better judgment, we brought you to this world.
I am the summoner.
Well, we as an entity, as a group. But also mostly Brack here.
I draw the sword that's soaked in the crimson blood. Stuff.
That's aggressive. Don't do that.
That blade is far too big for you. That is one of our blades.
It is one of your blades, but by this blade and by my command, I summon you. Go get that creature, spill its blood, and summon Abyssal to feed upon it.
Give us that blade, and we will pass.
Okay, I give him the blade.
I step away.
One of them takes it.
Steps back.
And they point to the direction you said, and you said, that way?
Yes, go that way.
And they kind of hunker and crouch going. They work their way that way.
The honorable sacrifices, my friends.
You
don't be afraid of
will
death.
Be, perhaps.
Shut up.
You know what? I want them to die.
I know you want them to die, but
we
I
should
don't
not
want to die. Shut up.
This world is not meant to be for more creatures to be brought into. It's not right.
We can kill them later, but right now it's a very bad time.
We have
made a terrible decision.
Are they on their way, or like are
they are? They're working their way through the hall now.
Okay, yeah, this was a terrible fucking idea. We should not have done this.
We can bring more of these. I mean, no, I don't want that. But possibly we could. No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
We should stop doing this. This was a bad idea. No. Let's go see what these two idiots are doing. They might actually be smarter than we are.
As you go north into the corridor, you see where Margar and Kvetin look like they are just putting away their weapons. What are you two doing now that you've destroyed that zombie creature?
Examining the zombie creature to see if it had anything on it.
Okay. Roll a D66.
That is a 63.
You find somehow, even though most of the clothing is deteriorated and ragged, there is like a pouch that is just like somehow fused to the hip bone of the creature, and it's filled with 63 silver.
Nice.
I will chuck that over to Margar. I think this is yours.
Oh, why? Thank you.
I walk into the room. Yeah, that casting circle doesn't do anything, and I think these scrolls are kind of useless. So we'll just sell them and not use them. It nothing works.
Look, if you couldn't solve the puzzle, like just say you couldn't solve the puzzle.
I mean, yeah, it didn't work. We couldn't solve the puzzle. What'd you guys get into?
This muckety muck was climbing out, but I solved its puzzle.
It looks like you bashed it with a flail.
Oh yeah, like that's the solution for this one.
Okay. All right. Is it safe to walk in here?
I think I'll be okay. I'm not sure about the rest of you, and I'll like skip across the mud.
I want the casting circle. If I go look at it real quick. How does the cyan inlay? Like I just peek around the room, but it's not. I'm not doing a long cursory study. How does the color of the cyan in it match the bluish tint of the metal on top of the skulls?
They definitely seem to correlate.
Okay, that's all.
Now, one of the things as a group, the main adventure hook of this was that you had heard rumors of an Abyssian cult making sacrifices to their god who lives below the forest, and you didn't want to see Abyssal rise to power, to stop the cult at all costs.
But we just thinking to get more sacrifices, yeah.
Right, just having that in the background.
Like, remember, y'all are just you're all just walking through this space solving dungeon puzzles. You're actually supposed to be stopping the cult.
I'm cool with whatever. Just reminding you, since you're not living the as these characters.
Yeah,
mistakes were made.
Stopping the cult, growing the cult. It's about the same.
I like that we got that little tooltip in the game, like just like you're all just fucking around now.
Let's check your quest log real quick.
Tip, did you know that you have a quest log?
It says not to expand the cult, but shrink it.
I mean, there's various ways you can solve.
The spider is gonna kill them, so it'll be fine.
Yes.
And the spider has nothing to do with the Abyssal, so we're
maybe, or they're gonna convert the spider to the cult.
They killed the last one.
I think we should press on and try to find the cult.
The actual
cult.
Yeah.
The actual cult, yeah.
Yeah. That
can you make, well, I guess we don't actually we don't, me and Margo don't know Margo don't know what the summoning circle does, because we were in here.
Correct. I'm not sure that we do either, actually. I'm not sure if that was the summoning circle or if it was the scroll.
It could be either or.
So I'm kind of curious. Like, I maybe want to try another scroll there.
No.
Just to see. But I only have the one tablet that I have that makes one question its reality. Like, I need a target for that. Do I have a volunteer?
You could target yourself.
You can absolutely target yourself.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, why not?
I mean, you got a dog. You can target your dog. You want to do animal testing?
I want to put a veil on targeting the dog.
I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna try, but with myself here, because I think my forlorn philosopher here already questions whether he's real or not. So,
right.
Yeah,
that's fair.
How would you know if it works?
Are you? Do you really move from freshman to sophomore level philosophy until you cast that spell on yourself? The answer is no.
That's the final test. I will stand there on the summoning circle, probably like sneak away, because I don't want the others to intervene here and stop me from doing this. So I will produce my tablet and cast the power on myself. So
very good.
13. So that's a success, and I
and then
detach
roll a
myself
D6.
from reality.
Yeah, you're totally detached.
2.
And almost the exact same thing happens in the same spot where the roots move aside and 2 of these creatures.
And I'm tripping
down.
Balls here. Like, I'm not.
Right.
Like, I'm just.
You're like, I don't think I exist. I don't think they exist.
No, exactly.
And did I just move back in time?
I don't know. I don't know anything right now.
Before we interact with those creatures, can we take a 5-minute bio break?
I think that sounds great. We're going to take a 5-minute break, come back and find out what happens when you graduate to sophomore level philosophy classes and 2 creatures that you summoned into your mind's palace. Try to have a conversation with you in that space. We are playing Crawling Death Below the Dying Forest. It's a Mork Borg Compatible Adventure that expands on the cartography things by Brian Colin that was released a few years ago. It's coming to Gamefound later this month. We'll be back in about 5 minutes to play a little bit more. And we are live again here on +1 EXP. You're playing Crawling Death Below the Dying Forest, a Mork Borg Compatible Adventure by Brian Colin. Brian, why don't you take us back into the delightful puzzle dungeon that you've created for everybody?
When we last left our adventurers, Frustan had just used a power, opening up the ceiling above to a dark abyss, where out of it fell two elongated, almost skinless creatures with long, menacing teeth, 4 eyes on each side. He also is questioning not only himself, but the reality around him. You see these creatures fall. What do you do?
I am baffled, to say the least. And I'm like, do you exist? Do I exist?
Yes. Why? Where did...
How can you be certain? Have you been here before? Have you experienced this before?
Where are our things? And you see them like kind of fumbling over themselves, trying to find like where their belongings are, almost like they're looking for clothes or gear of some sort.
Do you have any memory of this place? Do you have any memory of yourself, of existing?
Yes, we are from the other side. We are here. We must have been... Abyssal must have summoned us. We must feed Abyssal. We must feed Abyssal. Here, come with us. We will show you the hunger, the way, the path.
But is there really a hunger, though? Can you be sure?
It must be satiated.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm real, and how can I know? How can you be real if my eyes aren't real? How can
you are not? No, we...
I mean, this can go on for quite some time.
We like hear this like low conversation happening around the corner. I like poke my head back around. I see everybody. I'm like, are you guys coming?
Are we coming? Where are you going?
Are you really?
I mean, I thought we were leaving.
We will join you. Where are you going? Are you on your way to find Abyssal?
We're going that way. I just like point like the I point to the, let me see on the map what direction.
Okay.
I'm pointing. Oh, where's my mouse at? There we go. 3 screens makes it hard sometimes. I point to the east, I guess.
So you're in the room with the summoning circle right now. And so
I mean, I guess I point back. I like point back around myself to the other room to the east.
Okay.
To the sludge room?
Like that way.
The zombie creature was to the north.
Cool.
So okay, yeah. So we will come with you. We will join you, and you will find the way.
Great. Why don't you guys walk up front?
But is there a front? What is the front? I mean, Frustan is just gonna keep doing this for a while until the spell.
I like Frustan. I like how you've really entered into the puzzle space of mind now. Like, it's good to see you like come over to my way of thinking. I'm glad I convinced you.
Well, you did not convince me of anything, or did you? Yeah.
One of them crouches down onto the ground and they have long elongated fingers with sharpened points. One of them just kind of cuts into some of the bark that is the roots that are kind of lining the wall. And you see, as it opens up, you can see almost like fleshy bits underneath of it. And you can see it kind of recoils as it gets sliced open. You see it taste between its sharp, pointy teeth a little bit. And then it goes, yes, we are close. We are close. And it veers up past it comes into the room, and Brack and Kvetin, you are in this room, and you see two of these creatures kind of hunched over, walking, being followed by Margar and Frustan. As they're leading, they look at you and they're like, "It is that way," and it points to the far east of the room. Are you joining us?
I actually have no idea what's going on here. This is very confusing to me. I'm saying all of this out loud, by the way. Exactly in that tone of voice.
I love it. I love it. We're all getting into the puzzle space.
Do they look like they'll sink in the mud?
They look definitely heavier than all of you.
So I'll move deeper into the room past the zombie.
Okay.
And kind of urge them on. Yes, we are going this way.
And so they walk in. They start to like get on like the balls of their feet almost, and start to feel that the ground is softer. And you see them almost like stepping on top of their toes, kind of going through, much more nimble and with much more agility than you thought they would have, as they work their way through the room to a corridor that opens into another space. Are you all following?
I move over to Frustan. However you pronounce your name.
Whatever, yeah.
So you actually don't exist. You know that, right?
I'm not sure of it.
Neither
can you be.
In the lack of existence in space, material possessions also don't exist. And you don't need material possessions if existence is in question.
Go on.
Can I borrow your backpack?
No.
Why not?
Do I even have a backpack?
You really
I'm
don't.
not sure.
You really don't.
So you cannot borrow it because it's not there.
Then if it's not there, I start pulling the backpack off of his shoulder.
Hang on. Can I stop this from happening?
Yeah.
Just sort of like, I'm very like frail, so I can't probably like physically stop you from doing it. But I'm gonna try.
Pulled along with it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just sort of like, okay.
so I guess we can, for this, we'll do opposing strength tests to see who pulls back.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. I got 14. No, hang on. -2, 12.
I got a 12 even.
Okay, so we just start
so you're just like tug of war, just kind of pulling back and forth.
Yeah, just some casual robbing here.
as you're doing that, Brack, in your head you hear "You're getting closer. Come to me."
Oh, I'm still crazy. That's right. And you're now crazy. So we're both crazy, and we're screwed. So I guess it doesn't matter if I get killed right now. So never mind. I stopped the tug of war.
Yeah. Were you even alive at the begin with? You don't know. By the way, this effect only lasts for a combat, so I'll probably snap out of it soon.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say like as soon as you enter into the next, get through the corridor, your fog goes away.
Get a hold of the reality again. Sort of understand it. Unfortunately, I still exist. So yeah.
So you have these two creatures going through this corridor, and you are all following, correct? And if so, what is the order that you follow?
I mean, I think I'm right behind these guys.
Yeah, okay. I think so. Yeah. And we're probably at the back.
We need to kill them before they get anywhere that they need to go. I am gonna move up. I don't. Oh
So
my
it's probably
God.
Margar, Kvetin, and then Vrak and me at the rear, I think.
Yep. Okay, yeah. I got that. And so as you start to leave the room that had the softer ground and the zombie that had sunk in, it opens up into a wider space that kind of has multiple alcoves in it. It's almost like on either side, probably about 20 feet by 20 feet pockets on each side, then a little more corridor, then two more pockets, then a corridor that continues eastbound. It reeks of death. You can almost taste despair in the air.
High school. So good.
Roots are jutting from the walls, and you can see that there are bodies impaled, just kind of stuck against the walls with the roots coming through them. They may have a little bit of life to them. Each alcove has, the two that you see as you're first coming in, has at least 2 bodies in them.
Curse my sudden but inevitable betrayal. Before they get through the hallway, I'm gonna take my hand axe out and slam it into the back of the first one I get to. I can't let them get any further.
Case.
I can't let them get any further.
Okay. Well, I'll let you win initiative this round and take that, and then we'll roll initiative for the group and see how it goes. So roll to hit.
Okay. 14.
You hit.
Whoa, hey,
Surprise.
What's going on?
2.
Did you say 2?
I did say 2.
Okay. Let's see. You come up, whack it, like just move, like push past Margar and Kvetin, and you just throw an axe right into the back of one as it lets out a hiss and a howl and turns around. What are you doing? And it tries to grab at you, but now we'll roll initiative. So since you initiated the attack, Malakissa, will you roll a d6 and see whether you go first or these creatures go first?
That's a 1.
Okay. You all get to go first if you'll roll your individual initiatives. And
got a 0.
0.
7.
8.
6. I rolled really well that one.
Okay.
Some of us.
So, yeah. Didn't Margar, didn't you say 7?
I did, but
You got 8.
Yes. 8. Okay. Yep. Okay. So what is Frustan doing?
I mean, I'm also very surprised at this. Not as surprised as the dude who just got an axe in his back, but yeah, I mean, I'm game. So I'm a take my my club that I have and try to, hit him in the head. Same guy. So
Same one? Okay.
it's it is a 13. So it would be
That
a hit,
hits?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I hit it for 2 damage.
You're both unleashing on this one. It's definitely turned around now. You hit it pretty solid. You can see that it is definitely agitated with how you've both attacked it.
Yeah.
Margar, what are you doing?
Oh no! What's happening?
Well,
I'm just holding my flail down at my side.
Very good. And then, and so you are like in the center of this corridor, and there are the pockets on either side. You could easily like whisk off into one of the pockets if you wanted to get out of the center of the fray.
The pockets with the slightly living people impaled on on spikes.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that. I could
what
do
is slightly
that.
living?
Seems like
they were dead.
something I could do, but I stand there and I go, "Oh no, what's happening?" instead.
Okay. Very good.
Were they living or like moving? The people?
They look like they're clinging onto life, like they're impaled, and it looks.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Then Brack, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take another swing with the axe. We can't let him go any further.
Okay.
We cannot. 18.
That it's.
And a 6.
Nice.
You
good.
crushed that one. It just the axe just slices right through it. It was not prepared for you to attack it like you had, and it is now dead. Kvetin?
My jester does jester things, and I will unsheath the blade and try to run through the other one. Of course, the blade mocks me as I do. Are you going to actually swing me this time? All right, so that is a 4 on the die. How you betrayed me, which brings it up to a 7.
Do you want to spend an omen to?
I'm going to spend an omen just to make it an automatic success.
You can.
My DR is 10.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes, excellent. You do that. Roll the damage.
All right. Which is really bad because now I cannot stop myself from dying. That is 4 points of damage.
You slice into it, and even as you're slicing, your blade is mocking you for not doing more damage than you should.
Yeah.
This creature. Let's see. Everybody is relatively close, but I'm going to leave out Margar because Margar kind of just stood back to the side. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it is 3-4, which is sorry, Dave. It's you again.
That's such an asshole.
Roll to try and avoid getting hit. It's trying to claw at you.
Okay.
With its claws.
That's a 3 on the die.
Roll a d6 for damage and roll your armor into it.
I'm gonna
use sword is actually mocking the enemies.
Hold on.
Well.
I'm gonna use one of my omens to let Dave re-roll.
That's very nice.
That is very kind of you, sir.
Because even though my character is an asshole, I don't have to.
You're not.
That's a 10 on the die, but I do get a +2 to my defense this round.
Which makes it a 12. Success!
Yeah.
Perfect.
We are back at Frustan.
Okay, so what's the situation here? We have one creature now?
Yeah, one is fallen, one is standing that has that looks like they've taken substantial damage from the sword of Kvetin.
Okay, I'm gonna throw my club at the side and try to grapple it, try to hold onto it from the back so that the others can, do their thing to it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a you can either use agility or strength, whichever you prefer, to try and grapple it.
I mean, I'm gonna use strength. It's my absolutely worst stat, so I fail. Yeah,
okay.
I would have failed otherwise too, but yeah, sorry.
You go in and try and grab on, but somehow without the skin, it's just slippery.
Yeah, somehow.
So that makes us Margar.
What's happening?
Oh no.
Why are you doing this?
Hit it with your flail.
It's okay. Brack, what are you doing?
I'm going to hit it. Maybe. 12.
That hits.
Good.
For 1.
You hear it, see it, its eyes just kind of glaze over and start looking at you after being attacked. Kvetin.
All right. Let's see. Which one of you will betray me this time?
All of you.
Oh, there's a 19 on the die, so that's actually a 23.
Nice.
Or 22.
You hit with your.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see who I attack, though.
Yeah, because I'm standing there trying to.
Okay, I didn't roll a 1, so it did not attack. Didn't attack myself or an ally.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, that's true.
So that 5 points of damage.
You put your sword through this thing and it crumples to the ground with a big thud.
Yeah, it goes right through its mouth and out the back of its head, and just misses Frostan.
Yeah,
it's hanging just on his back.
And Margaret's like, great job, team. Good teamwork. I lured him into a false sense of security. Y'all finished him off. Great job.
And I held it in place.
I think you failed that puzzle.
Yeah, you definitely failed that puzzle.
What do you mean?
You were leading them to the abyssal. These are the bad guys. We're supposed to kill the bad guys.
They were leading us to the abyssal, and now they're dead. Puzzle solved.
As you say that, like almost exactly as you say that, you feel a rumbling in the ground below you, like there's some sort of horrible movement and a roar of almost like a gaseous outburst comes out, and you hear what sounds like an echoing belch off in the distance.
Sorry.
I don't like the sacrificing thingies, so I would like to unimpale the people that are currently impaled.
Unpale.
Unpale? Yeah. Can I unpale them?
You know when you pull somebody off and spike they've been impaled by, you inflict damage, just as much damage as it did going in.
Not if you have the healing salve on the...
You know that normally I would. However, I have Elixir Vitalis. And to be fair, I was going to save it for Dave, but if he takes any damage, he dies anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
So I'm going to unimpale them and use the Elixir
Before you do that,
Vitalis
can I just, before you waste a healing thing, can I just try to stab them with my dagger that has the crimson goo that we encountered in the first room?
No, I think that
they don't happen to be wearing any amulets or tattoos of the abyssal, do they?
So there's two in the northern chamber and there's two in the southern chamber.
Okay, I can just
Who's going to which one so that then we can see who does what and who finds what?
I'm going to stay in the chamber we're in.
I'll go to the other chamber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So we'll do Brack's chamber first. And where was Kvetin going?
I will go to whatever's closest to him. Like, is it the same distance?
You were like in the center, and it was just kind of like there's one on either side.
All right. Well, the other two go to the one, so I'll go to the other one.
Okay. So you'll go to the one with Brack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go together with Margar, because you're also going into one of the alcoves, right?
I'm going with you, to the other alcove, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, we'll do Brack and Kvetin's first. So you're going up and you're trying to roll a presence.
I walk up.
Uh-huh.
I walk up. I see it, and I just draw my blade and push it into their throat.
Okay, there's two people, so you go to one person to do that, and Brack's going to another one.
Two different plans here.
As you're doing that,
very different
both of you roll a presence test. Actually, everybody can roll a presence test because then I'll let you know whether or not you see this one thing.
Presence before we start stabbing them.
Yeah, you were just about to help them. I go up and kill them.
I got a 16.
15.
So that's going to be a 16 all day.
Okay, so everybody but Frustan notices that where they're impaled by the roots, you can see like it's almost like it's glowing, like their life force or energy is being sucked out of them, and you can see that they're like it's almost like they are a meat bag, like a food source.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not.
Is that good for the abyssal or is that bad for the abyssal?
Probably good for the abyssal.
Man, I don't know. It feels like we could have asked people we were just walking with had we wanted to.
Well, we can't anymore. No.
But now we have to solve this puzzle a different way.
Vetin, you jabbed one. You killed one right away. That was real easy, right?
Yeah. Let me put you out of your misery, friend.
Yep. Do you look at what they have on their person at all?
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Yeah. Do a D66.
All right.
Here we go.
That is a 26.
They have very little on them, but kind of tied to what's left of their belt is what looks like a skull of some sort of feline creature, like small. Do you do anything?
I take it.
Okay.
Take a look at it.
Okay.
Do I recognize it when it's in his hand?
So he went to one body. You're at the other person.
Are they that far away? I thought the alcoves were kind of small.
The alcove's like 20 feet by. Well, if you look over, you see that he's grabbing like a cat head, like a cat skull.
Is it like kind of like an amulet or a necklace or something?
It looks
skull, right?
It's a skull. It looks like the jaw is like hinged on with maybe some sort of wire or twine.
Uh-huh.
Do you do anything to it or just take it?
I take it. Take a look at it. I want to open and close the jaw if it moves.
As you open and close it, nothing seems to happen. Did you pet it?
I would touch it and move it around and show it to Frank and Molly.
If you start like as you're moving it around and you feel your hand kind of going under, going over it, almost as though you're petting a cat, it does indeed let out a meow.
Oh, nice.
Meow.
I
Best
walk
cat
over
skull
to
ever.
him when I hear the meow.
What's that?
I
Sorry?
walk over to him when I hear the meow.
Okay. You see this. He's just holding like a cat skull.
Did that skull just meow?
Pet it again.
And it meows again. Yep.
What is that?
It's a cat skull that meows if you pet it. I mean, it's okay. I'm more of a primate person myself, but
You got a meowing cat skull and you don't think that's
I
weird?
do. How big is the cat skull?
It's like domestic cat size, so like probably
So like my monkeys, they're like poochins, right? Probably is
Yeah.
like what I'm envisioning. Will that
Yep.
fit over one of their heads?
I mean, if you cut part of it out, probably like they could probably wear that as like a.
All right, we'll
Okay.
stow that away for later.
Kvetten and the meowing monkeys, probably. Oh.
What is happening with Brack, and then we'll go to the southern room.
Okay, Brack is gonna try the heal thing. So Brack
Okay.
is gonna put simultaneously use the elixir vitalis on one of them and pull the person off of the root structure.
And what does the elixir do?
The elixir heals
Like D6.
6 hit points and stops infection and can be habit forming.
Okay. Roll a d6 to see how much it heals.
6.
Wow.
All of a sudden, like you can see like the shriveled, withered flesh of this person start to kind of come back and rebuild, musculature heal magically underneath of it. And as you pull them off of the impaled vine that they were on, and they just are completely confused and they seem delirious. Who are you?
Well, we kind of want to know who you are. Why are you here and why were you impaled on roots?
These strange creatures. They kept talking about feeding us to their god. They
Huh.
captured me and my brother, and then some of our friends. Please get us out from under here. We never should have come through these tunnels.
Yeah, you shouldn't have come through these tunnels. That was a terrible idea on your part.
You probably shouldn't have either.
So
Probably not.
Your friend over there didn't make it, and I'm sorry.
Sort of wiping the blood off your blade.
No. How long have I? What year is it? You can just make something up.
Yeah, it's 7:32 right now.
We've been here for.
In the afternoon.
It's been a long time. Please get us out. Get me out of here. See if there's any others that are alive.
There's some in the north alcove we're trying to save right now, but we're kind of limited on healing, so we're doing our best.
Well,
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Now we're gonna go and see what's happening with Margar and Frustan.
I'm gonna conduct a little experiment here. So I'm gonna walk up to one of them and try to get some sort of contact with them. Like, hello, can you hear me? Are you alive?
You see, like their eyes just kind of like open just slightly, and you hear a help.
Oh, I will help. Don't you worry. I'm not sure this will work, but I will give it an honest try, and I will produce my dagger that I soaked in the crimson stuff, and just stab the person in the stomach.
Excellent.
I think this will work.
I'm just gonna prick them a little bit.
An arm.
I mean,
So good.
It's deeper, so probably
This
get it right in their
is
bloodstream.
this is the classic healing sword, right? Like,
Right. Yep.
Look, I'm not a doctor. Or
does
anything.
1d6 healing damage to anyone you stab with it.
Obviously.
I think this will work. We'll see.
Roll a d20 and let me know what you get.
It's a 9.
Okay. You see them, like, you put the blade in, and they just kind of, what little bit was still held up in their eyes from what you saw just closes. what few inhalations they were able to make just completely goes away, and they are just now dead.
Yeah, for now. Well, we'll wait and see what happens. Yeah. And I look to the next person. I'm like, don't worry, I'm gonna help you too.
And Margar, what are you doing while you see Frustan do this?
Yeah, I'm not even paying attention. I'm just leaned into this guy who's like, kind of like lightly like moaning and his eyes are fluttering. And I'm going like, yeah, I get it. I've been there. I get it. I totally get it. Man. Yeah, I've been there. And then I brain him with my flail.
Okay, excellent.
No, don't kill him. I say.
What? Smash.
I'm trying to save these people.
Do you want to try and see if they have anything on them, or are you just happy that they're no longer feeding whatever?
Oh no, I do want to see if they have something on them, but I also do have something else I want to do after I do that.
Okay.
So I want to check their body. Then I want to break a piece of this vine off. Like I want to like I don't have a cutting implement. I'll be 100% honest. I just want to break a piece of this vine though.
Okay.
Then I want to.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I've had. I want to know how to suck on the end of it.
Okay. Should I leave there, or do you want me to
do the part that's still connected, or the part that you broke off?
The part I break off a piece, and then I want to suck on the part that's still connected and try to draw whatever it's sucking out back into me.
Gotcha. You would snake venom, but you
nice. Okay. Yep.
I can only imagine this is going to go horribly, but I'm very excited about it.
It takes a while for you to tear through this root, because this root was like fully alive. This wasn't like a dry, rotted root. It had been sucking the life force out of this thing. So that takes a bit. But once you do that and you go to start trying to pull the force back, roll a toughness test. Yeah, that sounds right.
This just makes me think of like a really thick milkshake when you're trying to suck it through a straw.
Hold on. I hit the wrong button by accident. That was the D100 button. I did very well on the D100.
You have to hit the suckage button to see.
So that's a 13 all day.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. You really suck.
As you're pulling on it, you feel like you're starting to get something out, but then you feel your own life force starting to get pulled away from you.
Yeah.
Roll a D4 and see how much of your life gets sucked away.
Here's the question: is armor going to protect against this at all?
No.
Probably
then
not.
I die.
Yeah.
I die.
Oh,
but I have a healing dagger. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I have one hit point. I die. You watch like you turn around and I'm breaking this thing off and I'm sticking it in my mouth, Johan, and you watch me stick it in my mouth, and then you watch me go, and then you watch my soul get sucked out of my body.
Yes. And his whole face just kind of shrivels and wilts as it's getting pulled directly out.
Yeah.
I will try the healing dagger to stab you. Just see if it helps. But
let's see. So
that's not how healing works.
Well, I mean,
roll a d20 and let me know what you get.
19.
That sounds good for me.
Maybe
it does.
That's good. Yeah.
You somehow like he stabs you right as like the last little bit of your life is trickling out. You are broken. Roll on the roll. We're gonna roll on the broken chart because you were at 0 hit points instead of.
Negative. I've never rolled on the broken chart before in a game of Mork Borg. I just have died horribly. In the last game of Mork Borg, I want to be very clear. The last game of Mork Borg I played, we were playing Chris Bissette's In the Blue Light, and I almost died by licking something. And so this is the second time. It's two adventures. I mean, someone's died by sticking the wrong thing in my mouth. And that's because it's a frozen waste. It's a frozen Norse, and I licked ice, and then my tongue got pulled off, and that was my 1 hit point. Anyways.
That's magnificent. Roll a D4.
D4?
Roll a 4 now. Come
on. That's a 1.
Okay. All of a sudden, you just pass out.
Cool. I pass out.
So hang on. Do they have any good items on them? Like,
roll a D66.
Are you talking about the corpse?
No. I'm talking about Margar.
Oh, I've got that scroll that freezes people in place on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
Absolutely taking that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're out for D4 rounds, and then you.
The monkeys are very upset at you for taking that. I will say they are probably not okay with what you're doing, and so you have 3 monkeys who are climbing all over you trying to get that scroll back.
So what about me stabbing you? Is that going to be a problem?
They were fine with that. They didn't
Okay.
they didn't catch it in time. They didn't expect your sudden but inevitable betrayal at that point in time. That brought me back to life.
I mean, yeah. So how many monkeys were there? 3?
There's 3. Yeah, they're not bad. They're just fighting with you about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been with you 3 guys the whole time, so it's the same thing. So I mean, I'm
when
fine.
you pull your blade out of Margar, you notice that any remaining little droplets or anything that you had dipped in it before is now completely worn off. It's now worked its way into other things.
Fine.
Okay. So Kvetin and Brack, you finish up in the room. What do you do now?
We're gonna go north. I at least am gonna take the other guy that we just saved up north to see what's going on in the other room.
And you see Margar lying on the ground, looks completely passed out. You see 2 bodies just dead against the wall. Well, no, one would be on the ground because they were ripped off the thing, and then but they're just kind of lying face first on the ground.
You also see Frostan standing there with a dagger and Margar's scroll in his hand.
Yep.
It's fine.
Hey, guys! It turns out we can rescue these people without, and without them dying. I point to the live guy and looking at the guy on the ground with his head bashed in.
Please get me out of here. We need to get out.
Yeah, no, we gotta stop this shit from happening because it's gonna be way worse for everyone if he gets summoned. We just didn't want you feeding him. So we tried to save your friends. We're just limited on heals, man.
There's no way you can stop this force. Have you seen it?
We have not. No. Tell us.
I mean, we're probably about to. So
just go right there. And they point down the corridor, in the other direction from where you just came.
No need to be so vague. You can explain it to us. What is it? What is there?
It is a giant gaping mouth, larger than any other room I've ever seen in this place, and all it does is eat.
Oh, it's my ex-husband.
How would one defeat it?
I heard some other people coming through. There's some items somewhere in here, but I don't think it's possible. There's no way. It's too big.
I want to go take a peek, so I want to sneak off in that direction and kind of look.
Okay.
Look, I come back to you. I say, whatever you do, don't walk in front of these guys.
Look, I helped you.
Oh no, you're fine. The other 2.
I brought you back to life.
Kvetin, as you walk through the corridor, you see 2 of the creatures that you just killed throwing what looks like a human into a giant pit that's a massive mouth. A horrible smell of rotted teeth decay is kind of billowing out of this space. It's easily far larger than anywhere else you've been in this room.
Do they have other humans there that they're trying to throw in there?
They do not. It looks like they just threw something in. As far as you can tell, just looking in the corridor and seeing it, it looks like that's it.
How far away are they?
They're probably 15 feet away from you. When you see them and you
they're
kind of pass them, they're facing the pit. Yeah.
I want to charge one of them and just try and shoulder bump them in.
Okay. Go ahead and
roll sacrifices.
Roll strength. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's not good. It was a 4. That brings it to a 5.
No, I'll give you an omen for that. To reroll.
Yeah, I mean, I really appreciate it, but also giving me extra dice rolls isn't always great.
That's a
19.
I can attest to that.
You run and slam into this creature, and they're completely caught off guard. They had no idea you were there. It goes flying into this mouth, and you see the mouth just kind of almost like a Venus flytrap snatch up. And
Wilhelm scream, definitely.
Yes, and you can hear its bones breaking as the teeth are chattering on it.
And now I want to run away.
Yeah. And then you run. All of a sudden, you all see him running back. And you see behind him one of the Abyssian creatures turning and looking completely confused at what is going on. What do you all do?
Is it running towards us?
It is not yet. No, it's just.
I got the first one. I took care of the first one. You guys grab the next one.
Okay, I don't think this will work.
Why not? It worked once.
How far in? What is the distance into that room? Oh, I forgot to look at the map. There's a map. There's a map update. I can see the map.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got these alcoves here, right?
Yep.
Are these squares? Are these 5-foot squares or 10-foot squares?
They are 5 foot.
5 foot.
Yep.
So I want to try to gather up some of the vine and go drop it in the mouth.
Okay. So the vine, like it's all like attached to the stuff that's attached to the walls and stuff. As you start to pull and tug at it, it starts to coil and wrap around your arm.
That's fine. That happens.
Yeah.
You're gonna die twice by the same way.
Let's see. Where is it? There we go. Make a strength test as it starts wrapping around you.
That's 17 plus 1, so 18.
Pretty high rolls.
Yeah, that's you managed to pull away from it. You're not able to actually pull it because it is like attacking you, trying to ensnare you. So unless you have a sharp weapon to cut the pieces off, or tell me how you want to do it.
Yeah, this is a one shot. We're gonna engage in a one shot thinking.
Yeah.
My goal is to because I know what happened when I sucked on this thing. When this thing went into my mouth, I know what it felt like.
Yeah.
I don't care if I fall. I'm going to go jump into this pit with this vine wrapped around my arm because I want this thing to. The 12-year-old in me, a beer and a half in, is strong. I want this thing to drain its own life force.
Excellent. So you make the strength test and you're running, trying to pull unravel it as you're going and trying to jump in. Make an agility test to try and jump past the Abyssian that's there.
The mind wanders.
Work its way.
So that's 15 plus 2. That's 17 again.
I was thinking made an omen if you failed it. Like that's.
Yeah, I was going to say I have one more left also too.
All of a sudden, you see Margar leap into the mouth as it starts going down. You see the teeth coming up, but somehow he slides down past the teeth, and you're enveloped in total darkness and a horrible stench. It's moist. It's wet. You're feeling the clothing around you starting to burn as the acidic stuff inside the mouth is starting to work its way, and you can hear it and sense it and feel it coming up as it choking on its own vines is inflicting a gag reflex on the giant mouth. What's everybody else doing before this happens?
Wow. So we see Margar. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, no. I was looking at Margar and thinking he was going to do something stupid, so I'm going after the Abyssal because I don't trust him to actually go into combat. Because I'm apparently the only competent person in combat right now, and the only one that's not squishy. So I'm going after the Abyssal.
Okay. What's everybody else doing, and then we'll figure out if we need initiative or if you guys will just take your actions.
I will back up Brack.
Okay. And what about Frustan?
So we saw Margar basically run towards the mouth with the vines or the roots here. Okay, so I will try to help them by going with. I have a small. This will probably not work. I have a small bottle of black poison that I will try to run up and just sort of throw down there into the mouth.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. It could work.
Okay. Yeah.
Could also not.
Okay, so we'll roll your presence test to toss and see if you make it in. Then we'll have Brack do the attack on the Abyssian.
I drop it at my feet because I roll a 5. So yeah. Like, oh, hang on.
Brack, you want to roll for Brack's attack?
Yes.
Brack attack.
That would be a 1, and I'm actually going to use one of my omens on a 1. I'll take a fail. I'm not taking a 1.
Yep.
That's a 19. I'll take that.
Yeah,
That's better.
it's
Yeah. That's a 6.
okay. Nice. The that abyssal gets completely pushed back. They're kind of teetering on the edge of the slimy mouth. And Kvetin, you said you were just backing up. Brack, were you doing anything to?
I will move in with my sword, but let's see who I actually attack. All right. Well, it's not a 1, so that's good.
Hooray.
And I will take a swing at it. That's a 16.
That hits.
6 points.
You slice into it, and it falls backwards into the still slightly open mouth. You can, Margar, as you can smell the bile underneath of you starting to bubble up. You see something come down, fly past you as you jab the vine into the fleshy mouth part of the gaping mouth.
Excellent.
And as that happens, you see the mouth close. You hear a horrible bubbling sound as this kind of vomitous acid spurts up, and then the mouth closes and disappears as the ground caves in around it.
Oh, that sounds like we should leave.
Margar is no more.
Look, if the Book of Boba Fett has taught me anything, it's I'm going to have at least a 6-episode series arc coming up in 40 years, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
as you should be.
The Scroll of Morgar. I'll look forward to it. So is it like the whole place is rumbling and crumbling down situation,
yes,
or is it just
started crashing down, and then you can see the area where the bodies were being siphoned off is starting to crumble as well. It's probably a good idea to try and escape if you can.
Yeah, let's go for saving our own.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You managed to go back the same way that you came. You see, as you work your way back through, you go as you carefully enter the room where the giant spider-like creature was. You see the Abyssians that you had sent that way are now like torn apart and in pieces. There, they were obliterated by the spider-like creature. The ceiling and everything seems to have stopped where you are. It doesn't sound like the ground is crumbling behind you, but you probably feel like it's still a good idea to get out. And in your minds, chances are you may have defeated this ancient god.
What about the spider creature? Is that still around?
You look up and you see some sort of, you can catch a little bit of movement as the light that was coming through the tiny hole up there disappears. Okay. So you know that it's moving up there somewhere.
Kvetin just thinks he needs to be faster than his companions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then the spider, so he will just
moving quickly out of this room.
Yep.
And we will say that you all managed to escape to the same entrance that you came in.
Can I have acquired the other 3 monkeys?
Yes. You now have 5 monkeys.
Right.
And you have either
two of them love you,
or the mouth either retreated and will come back and be fed some more in the future.
No, we probably won. It will never come back.
Awesome.
No way.
We pan down from over the twin moons of Galgenbeck. All of a sudden, Margar's hand bursts through the sand.
Excellent.
Here on Plus One EXP, we do a little thing called Reaction Roll. Reaction Roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game that we just played and talk to them about playing that game. Today, we just played through just a little bit of one of the mini adventures you can find in Crawling Death Below the Dying Forest, a Mork Borg compatible mega dungeon game that uses the cardography product that Brian had made a little while ago, but now there is a mega dungeon that is being used to accompany that. It's going to be a beautiful hardback 48-page-ish book that is going to be coming to Gamefound, which is our preferred crowdfunding platform. If you got to crowdfund, we love it when people do that on Gamefound. But we're very excited to play it. I had a great time. But I can't wait to hear from other people. Brian, tell us a little bit about Crawling Death, what inspired this project, and a little bit about what it is.
Sure, absolutely. So even though it uses cardography as the base, you definitely don't need it to play. It was the foundation because in the page layout of the book, it has what the rooms look like. We have the VTT assets so that if you wanted to build it out yourself, the tools are there, but you don't need the actual physical card deck to be able to lay it out. But because I had created this product a while ago, I wanted to engage with my kids in a way to have them help kind of build out a dungeon crawl. And I love Mork Borg, and I had created Vast Grim, which is sci-fi, but I'd never actually created anything in the world setting itself. So I wanted to do something for a game that I love. So I thought being able to do something with things that I already have in my tool belt would be fun to do, and also be able to do something just that could be a self-contained book adventure for other people to play. So yeah,
I love it.
Explain it well.
The other question I got to ask is: did the sculpt come first this time, or did the sculpt come after? Did you make because you are a visual artist? You make a lot of three-dimensional assets that you then work into your games. So did this time, did you sculpt the item first, or did you sculpt the item after?
Afterwards, all the stuff for this, all the art that was made for this was done after starting to work through some of the ideas.
Awesome! I can't wait for people to see some of the art and other amazing pieces. But let's find out what people thought about playing the game. Let's start out with our good buddy Dave from Nerdarchy. Dave, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online? But tell us what it was like to experience Crawling Death.
Sure. So Nerdarchy Dave from Nerdarchy, for Nerds by Nerds, and we're Nerdarchy everywhere, primarily on YouTube and our website, where we talk about D&D and other RPGs. And we also sometimes sell and make stuff as well. So this is my first session of Mork Borg. Like, I've read through the book and I've been looking at it. So I was definitely happy when Brian invited me to come check it out. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And no way did I ever think this character would make it through the whole entire adventure.
Yeah. I'm surprised you made it. There were some special circumstances that kept you alive.
I think that's part of this game, though, in playing like Mork Borg in general. You know, the way it's designed is like you need those special circumstances, or you're pretty much boned. You have to like really think long and hard about how to use those resources.
Yeah. Do you have any questions you want to ask Brian about the adventure?
So you said you don't need cartography, but the cartography product, but is it still available? Will it enhance people's play?
I'll have that as an add-on for the campaign. I have a limited amount of the specific deck that I used for this, and so I'll have those. And then if people want to add them, they can. Yeah. But there's also the ability to get like the digital files if you want to plug them into whatever VTT you have, or just use your imagination, or look in the pages and just like, okay, this is what the room looks like. You could draw it out on your map, however you want to do it. So,
love it.
I've always just been very impressed with Brian's love for RPGs and his ability to funnel child labor into those endeavors.
True. Brian has his kids working on multiple games right now. That's the most impressive part. It's not just like one game. It's like, hey, come on, let's make as many games as possible right now.
Right. So, they're either going to love me or hate me when they're older. So, I might as well at least try and get them into the things that I dig.
Get some products out of it.
I mean, you're keeping some therapists employed later.
That's right.
Love it. Awesome. Dave, if you think of more questions as we go, let me know. Mally, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, but also tell us a little bit about what it was like to play Crawling Death.
Okay, so it's a lot of questions all at once. Sorry, bear with me. Let me sort through that. I'm Mally Kisa on Twitch. You can find me there doing blind playthroughs of horror video games where I make bad decisions amusing. You can check out my shorts on those on youtube.com/Malakisa. As for Crawling Death, I've been playing actually Vascarum with Brian a lot. I've done quite a few playtests with Brian, and I've been actually GMing Vascarum campaign since October, I think. So I'm pretty familiar with the Mork Borg system through Vascarum, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite game systems, actually. And Crawling Death was just fantastic. I had so much fun with that. I really like the new characters we've got going on and the new setups, the new descriptions. I actually think, and I hate to say this, but I think some of the descriptions and options we had in this was more fun than the options we had in Vascarum. Especially when you're running the random character generator and you don't know what you come up with. I think it was easier to roleplay these random characters than it was the Vascarum ones. So just comparatively on that. Otherwise, I think the dungeon crawl was really cool. I've not done dungeon crawls in a while, and that was a lot of fun. I like how that played out a lot. So, yeah.
Sweet. Do you have any questions about Crawling Death that you want to ask Brian?
Question-wise, like for running this, I'm actually wondering how hard this is going to be, because if you're pulling up this stuff at random as a GM, you can't prep it, right? You don't have prep time. You can't set anything up. Like, how is it to just pull this stuff up out randomly with reading it out, and how's this going?
So that kind of depends on your GMing style. Like, I personally prefer to make stuff up as I go because it keeps me going. But you could easily look at it and be like, okay, I want to roll the rooms ahead of time and map it out. Or you could be like, okay, I want to put the rooms together like this and have it pre-planned and do that work up front. That's just not how I like to do it. So you could totally be like, okay, I'm going to pick this room and this room and this room and this room and this room, and this is going to be in it, and have it run that way. With the 4 story hooks that are in the book, at the back, in the back one of the tables, it shows you which cards are integral to that storyline. So if you want to specifically just run one of the stories, have those cards or have those rooms, have a few more to add to it, and then you'd be set. Or if you want to just be like, we're going to play this campaign for a long period of time, let's just play until we've gone through all 55 rooms and work it that way. So,
okay.
Awesome.
And then my other question was, do you have like some of these systems mapped out? Because when I was going through the character generator, it was like there was a cultist where the other cults are after him. Like, do you have these cults mapped out story-wise in the world where like these people believe this and these people believe that?
So that character generator is put together by not just the core Mork Borg crew, but also a lot of third-party content as well. So all of that stuff on Scumburger is none of that's. I'm not involved in that in any way. It's just an awesome way to generate your characters quickly.
All sorts of random stuff in here.
But there is someone we could ask that question to a little bit.
Absolutely.
And that's Johan. Johan, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
So I'm Johan Nord. I'm a graphic designer and artist, and one of the 2 people who made Mork Borg. Well, actually, more people did it, but one of the 2 core people at the team. And you can find me on basically any social media channel, and I'm Johan Nord, or my alter ego Mork Borg. And yeah, it was a blast playing this. I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
And I rarely get the opportunity to actually play this game. And yeah, I'm very happy to have had the chance. So
awesome.
Great gang, great adventure.
Before
Awesome, thank you.
Before we let you ask questions, maybe hear a little bit more from you. Let's I love Mally's questions, and I love that while we have you here, we can kind of ask you, because Mork Borg doesn't have necessarily an established canon, but there is a lot of lore that has continued to grow around from the core setting, from the actual official releases that y'all have done. And through all the third-party stuff that's come up, and people can go to Ex Libris to find all of that if they want to, along with some other sites too. Tell us a little bit about how you, as one of the creators, envision the lore of Mork Borg kind of relating to each other. And I know that there's that weird line between straddling official and unofficial stuff, but are you somebody who, when you think about it in a fully like anti-canon format where it's like, hey, just pick what makes sense, or is there a lot of consideration from you and the creative team on how different pieces fit together?
I mean, we're definitely anti-canon here. But as soon as you buy the game, it's your game, and you make whatever you want from it. Like, we have no say in it as creators. But we as creators have our versions of it, as with any players and any GM. So whenever we write something, it will probably sort of like come together in our vision of it. But you as a creator and a player can take whatever you want, just throw it away and do your thing with it. So we're not very concerned about canon, really.
So wait a minute. A Viking longship doesn't row up when someone changes it from what you guys do.
if you fail to properly implement the anti-cannon, the Vikings attack.
Yeah, totally. We have that. there's the Mork Borg cannon police that we send after you.
But no, did you have like? I would love to hear any thoughts you have specifically, Johan, about the adventure, the use of cartography, or just any questions you have for Brian.
No, I mean I'm impressed by the fact that this is so like randomly generated, and like you have this mega dungeon that can be very modular. And you mentioned you had 4 different like storylines or 4 different major like plot lines. Are they like interacting with each other in any way? Is it like different factions that go together and like?
So I do have factions in there. There's 3 different factions. The other story hooks. There's one about a mad warlock who's gone into hiding in the tunnels. He stole the lost tome of Abyssal, which ties into the Abyssian cult and Rising Abyssal. And the pages that you found are ripped out of that tome because he hid them. So all the stories do intertwine in a certain way, so that if you were to play it as a big piece, it would all kind of work together. So like parts of it is like this undead queen that's still like a skeletal structure, that she could become reanimated, and she wants Abyssal to die, and she wants to like pull the power out of Abyssal and become her own like deity, which is one of the other storylines. And then there's a gang that has taken over part of the tunnels and made it their lair, and so there's storylines with that, and how some of them have gone missing because of the cult. And things that all kind of weave together if you want them to.
Oh, that's dope.
So there are
that's really nice. You build like your own little ecosystem in there, which is I think the key thing of making a good dungeon, really, or like a mega dungeon especially.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Thank you.
And I love the size and kind of flavor differences of those different kind of factional pieces. Like some of them are individuals, their power levels are different, how they're navigating the space is different. It's very cool. No, I love it. If either of you have any more questions, also if you're out there watching right now or later and you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, drop them in the comments. But like Brian, I loved it. I had a blast. It's a great puzzle dungeon. Lots of puzzles to solve.
Can I use that as a quote?
Yeah, great puzzle dungeon. And I'll give you a real one also. You can put 2 quotes from me on the page. Like one, it's a great puzzle dungeon up high, and then like
also
later on, like don't listen to what I said earlier. I'm lying. No, but I had a blast. I love when people are able to take a tool or something that they've made and then like bring it back over. I think you make really part of it's the experience with Vast Grim, but you make very complete concepts when you approach Mork Borg, and even like right now, I know you've got a submission for our minimalist like OSR system, the Together We Go jam that we're doing right now. Like you're doing a very complete concept there. Like you tend to think about things in very whole cloth ways, and I think that's very cool because a lot of people will approach very modular design and just be like, I just want to make this small thing. Like for Mork Borg, some people are like, I made an item and I'm going to put it up on itch and now it's available. And you're like, I want to create a whole new universe set in the future, or I want to create a mega dungeon using, and like, I love that when people think that big. I also love when people think in very precise ways, but I mean, like, it's very cool to see that style come to this. I think one of my questions was what it was going to be like. What were some of the challenges for you coming over and creating like in the Mork Borg ecosystem, kind of the inverse of what we asked Johan, like as you were injecting this new cult into the setting, what were some of the considerations and what were maybe some of the differences or challenges between Vast Grim, where you had total narrative control, and then in this where you're trying to insert into a space where other people have created in the anti-canon already?
So because like I kind of look at it the exact way that like Johan described it, where like once you play in it, it's yours. So I honestly, there's over 1,000 people contributions, third-party content. So I didn't even consider any of those. Like I didn't factor those in because I would never get anything out. If I wanted to put something out, I'd never be able to. So I looked at the core book and I looked at like some of the core, like the Feretory and the Heretic, and knowing that I'm not making sure I'm not stepping on any cannon toes, and then trying to carve out my own space in that to create something, and hope that everybody that plays it will be able to work it into their games if they want to. And then one of the very special things is I have a side adventure that does allow people from this game to jump into Vast Grimm and Vast Grimm to jump into this. Nice. That will be a stretch goal.
That's what I was going to ask about that next. So tell us a little bit more about that, if you can. I don't know if you've made yourself sign an NDA or not, but
hang on, let me. So the Abyssians that you fought are actually an intelligent alien species. And so they have come here. And so there's a direct connection. And when they come through the portal, they lose all of their sci-fi gear and everything. So they mutate and change a little bit. So they're doing something specific here for the place that they are in Vast Grimm to try and make some things happen, and trying to make it so people can go back and forth between the two settings.
I love that.
That's really cool.
Because I'm looking forward to, and like I have a class in draft, and I've never created for Mork Borg before, and I'm behind on what I'm supposed to be creating for Vast Grimm. So but I have a thing in draft for a class, and when I was drafting it, I was like, I'm 100% going to make the Mork Borg and Vast Grimm version of this at the same time, and drop them in the same file, because I just think it's fun to be like, hey, I love this concept, and here's the difference depending on how you're approaching this universe versus this universe. But I love seeing that kind of intentional reality and crossover piece, because the system, there's very little difference in the system. And having been able to play like Pirate Berg with you a couple of weeks ago, which is live over on Kickstarter right now, and some of the other things we're seeing people do with Gamefound and kind of standing up and doing standalone systems with it has been very cool to see. And I think just speaks tremendously to how great the core system is, not just because Johann's here, but also like how pleasurable it is for people to explore that space, and then what they want to do with it also too. And so this was super fun and super enjoyable. I'm also somebody who loves to improv GM, so this is 100% my speed of like, we're gonna flip things down on the table. I've got something I can reference real quick. Let's lock and load and go. I also love when you were like, there's all these things in the dungeon that you might have to go buy, and I'm like, I'm gonna make this thing suck itself to death, and since it's a one shot, Brian's probably gonna let me.
It works.
I love, it's one of my favorite things about Mork Borg and OSR games. But I think, especially when you're willing to do the thing like where it's like, I just kill myself to make this happen. Like there's a level at which the conceits behind Mork Borg help reward that, not noble sacrifice necessarily, but just like violent engagement within the system. Is very cool.
Creative puzzle solving.
Yeah, everything's a puzzle if you think about it too hard. I will say, like, it took me, like, I was like, it's so weird that they have a healing thing. I'm sure that matters. And then we got like, when we hit the zombie, and I don't know if it was connected at all. I don't know if the zombie was part of the whole thing. But like the concept of we want to beat things up and kill them, but kind of keep them alive is a really cool space for bad guys to be in. And it telegraphed it was tremendous to be like, lots of times telegraphing is kind of left to the GM, like suggesting the plot hooks is left to say, GM, figure out how to do this. And you wrote it, so you may just know where you were going. But when the design of an adventure actually suggests a conversation that you can have with adversaries, like when they show up and they start talking to you all of a sudden, that's a very different place. And you did a great job telegraphing that by having a small statement by one of them as we were killing them in the first room, and then having them come to the summoning circle and interact with us. It was very cool. And I loved Johann's like willingness to be like, I zone out for a little while on this. And dive in. I had a blast. I thought it was great. I'm gonna have a review that will pop up in a couple of weeks as the campaign goes live for this that share some of my other thoughts. But any other questions or thoughts anybody else wants to share before we hop off?
Do you know how many combinations there are? Because I know you answered my one question, which was how many hooks. But have you figured out how many configurations? Do we need a statistician on this?
Yeah, I can't do the math. That's why I'm not into crunchier games. Yeah, there's 52 cards, but 55 rooms. So, I mean, you could just play
shit. Now I've got to change the math I did. Hold on.
Over 50 combinations, you can say.
So it is I'll drop the number in the chat for the number of combinations there are potentially for this. So if you're watching live right now, you'll know, and if you're not, then you won't. This is how many. I think it's 2.3999 to the 94th power combinations for the way this dungeon could play out. Is that helpful for you, Dave? Does that help you mentally grab onto to what it means?
My mind just melted.
I mean, I was super impressed with Brian's ability to, randomly generate everything and go through it so rapidly.
Oh, that was flipping pages on my PDF since the book's all laid out. It's been edited. It's already gone through 2 passes with Walton Wood. So when the campaign launches, it's pretty much going to be ready to go to the printer. Yeah. So I have it all. I have it all ready and locked in. So
I can't wait. Like I said, I'm super excited. I'm going to show everybody kind of the final dungeon. This is like we went through just one adventure, and it's 8 rooms that we went through.
You started in 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you hit 8 rooms in the path. Yeah. Just like I said, super enjoyable. I had a blast. I can't wait to see where it goes. A couple things that we've got coming up. I don't have previews ready for any of them because I'm running a little bit behind. However, we have basically a stream every day next week here on Plus One EXP. So if you're watching live or over on YouTube watching this, feel free to hit subscribe so you know when we have new content go up. But we've got a 3-part adventure that we're doing through Keegan EXE's In Extremis, which is a Lumen system game based on space necromancers. So it's got a lot of fantasy vibes, but it's very much a looter shooter video game feel to the system. I'm very excited to play through that. I am playing a reliquary, so I am a space witch who died, and now a part of my body remains as a weapon, and whenever somebody kills someone with that weapon, I can take over its body for a little while and walk around. I'm very excited to be doing that for 3 weeks. Yeah, that's cool. Very cool. That's a class that I ended up creating that Keegan then worked into the game. But we've also got, we're playing Yazeba's Bed and Breakfast next Saturday. We're playing Deimos Academy next week. Some games that I'm incredibly excited about. And we've got something basically every day, Monday through Sunday of next week. And then we're going to be taking a couple of weeks off. So please come back and join us for any of those amazing games. Also, right now, we are in the middle of hosting the Together We Jam Game Jam. This is games based on Marcus Linderham's Down We Go system that I helped to develop out for full release. People are creating custom classes and roles, locations, events, adventures, other things like that for both Down We Go, which is a fantasy OSR game where the character sheet and the rules all fit on one half-page piece of paper, or Through the Void, which is a space OSR game that has similar vibes to it, but has about 4 pages of rules, including ships and other things like that. We would love to have you come create content for that, or take the base system and make something amazing for that. Speaking of which, Brian, why don't you tell people a little about what you're doing for Together We Jam? Because this isn't, like I said, you're making your children do a lot of work right now, and I want everybody to know about all the work they're doing. So for the Together We Jam, we're creating a thing called Over the Troll Bridge, which is, the idea is that you play trolls, either stone, rope, wood, or stone or metal trolls. It's a very cartoony aesthetic to it, with art by my friend Carrie Drake, who did all of my Revelo stuff. And the idea is that Magic City is a giant city that floats above a sea of lava. And to keep the city floating, you have to go and get treasure to melt down on the forge so that it can stay suspended without the city sinking down into the ground. So you go across these magical bridges that engineers and warlocks create, but you only have a limited amount of time depending on the type of bridge you go across. So if you go across a metal bridge, which is the sturdiest, you can explore 8 rooms in this other world and come back. Otherwise, the bridge starts to dissolve and disappear. The places you'll go is completely up to whoever's running and playing the game. You can go to a fantasy setting. You can go to a futuristic setting. The bridges will take you anywhere your imagination will. Awesome.
I love it. It's been super exciting to see all the different pieces that people are pumping out for Together We Jam. There's only 2 submissions that have submitted so far, but we only started on Tuesday, so there's plenty of time left in the jam. If you want to hop over to that, you can go to ttrpg.link/twjam to check out all those submissions. And I've seen a sneak preview of Brian's. It's absolutely amazing. Happy to have anybody join us with that. We have people who it's their first time stepping into kind of old school style design, who are doing that, who are historically story gamers, and it's really cool to see that happening. So I'm so thankful to each of you guys for coming on today and playing with us. But until next time, we are all just going to wave at the stream until I take us offline. Bye, everybody. Why can't I find the title? There we go. Here it is.